Yes.
We're getting some feedback.
Yeah, we're getting feedback here. I think it might be my iPad there. All right, there we go. How does that sound? That's better?
That good?
That's good. RJ, we sound better. Sorry about that. Sorry about that.
No worries.
Fantastic.
Legendary RJ in the building.
Yes, I have a joke for RJ here.
Send him out to that A's game.
It's been a tough year for Mikes in the NBA, RJ. Michael Malone, Mike Brown, fired. Mike Budenholzer could be. The only Mikes having a tougher year are the on-field Mikes at the A's game.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Was it bad last night again?
It was fine.
Oh, everything was on now.
He texted me last night. I didn't know he'd heard what we were saying about the anthem or anything. I got a text from RJ last night. Like, the national anthem was fine tonight. Thanks very much.
RJ, is that you behind the scenes? You in charge of that?
It wasn't him. That's not him.
I'm minding my own business. I'm driving to the A's game, and I'm turning on your show for what reason, I don't know.
Oh, it's like that. Okay.
So I got 30 minutes, and in that 30 minutes, I hear you taking me out about this A's microphone problem. I'll have you know it was, hey, I have to say, it's an amazing amount of work in 6 months.
Yeah.
What they did to that ballpark, and to have a few technical issues to start out, and the few we had, I'm very impressed. And those guys worked night and day to get that thing running. And yeah, we still have a couple of bugs to work out, but
yeah, the whole thing's kind of a work in progress
for sure.
Yeah, I don't know, RJ. You're not going to be happy about our guest. We're going to have DA Damon Amendolara, because I'm sure he's going to be bringing up some of the technical issues and everything like that. We might have to chime in, RJ. Stick up for your guys.
We'll see. That's
right.
Not till what, 4:30? So we got we got a lot to get to before then. But big game tonight. Obviously, the Denver Nuggets. Which Denver Nugget team shows up tonight? Who knows, Drapes? Who knows what state of mind they'll be in?
I'll tell you what, Whitey. I know we're going to talk about the game, but you know I'm in a bad mood right now.
I heard about that.
I'm in a bad mood right now. You know, we got the legendary voice Jerry Reynolds joining me on the call today.
I think you would be in a good mood about that.
But I am. But we could have broke that yesterday. We could have. But you know, I'm trying to be the good employee. I text NBC, hey, you know, what's the rollout? What are we doing here? Like, that's a good point. Let me get back to you. So you would think there'd be some graphic, a little fanfare or something like that.
Right.
Nothing. And then Jay or you or whoever it was text.
It was Jay.
Jay. Yeah, the Jerry Reynolds news is out there. And so I'm like, oh, that was us. We should have. But I don't know. So that set me off into a bad mood, man. So I'm still a little upset about it.
Is it because Carmichael Dave is the one who broke it?
No, I was upset before that.
I'm talking about
worse
girth.
That he was. It was made it. And he had Katie on the show, I guess, earlier. So maybe that's how it came out. But I'm like, what are we doing, man? We got to have a better rollout over there at NBC. You know, it's like being a rap artist or a musician. You know about music.
Yeah.
What if your single gets leaked before you wanted to? The promo hasn't hit. You know, the tour dates haven't been announced yet. It's like, we wanted to control that message.
Yeah.
And we dropped the ball.
Well, I know it, you know, Jerry's very busy. We have him on once a week. We're going to see if we can't get him on today. We don't know if he'll be able to swing that, but we would love to do that. And whether we do or not, very excited. And I'm excited for you because I know you guys have a good chemistry on the air on our show. So that's going to be a lot of fun tonight.
Yeah. Well, what's the over under on the amount of prep work Jerry is doing for tonight? What, about 8.5 minutes?
Probably. I mean, his whole life.
I have to take the under on that.
That's what he does is watch basketball. His whole life has been prep work, really.
Well, I was out in Cleveland the other day, called that game. You know, I'm sitting there with Katie. Katie got copious amounts of notes. I mean, 3, 4, 5 pages. I look over to my left. There's Brad Daugherty. Nothing. Not a day. He ain't got no rosters, no game notes, no injury updates, nothing. He got his glasses and his monitor, and that's it.
Big.
And when you oh, dude, nicest guy, man. Yeah, I was sort of in awe. I'm like, Brad, you still doing auto race? Oh yeah, of course. You know, it's a nicest dude out there. He was nice. He was tremendous, so.
One of the things that Jerry was well known for when he was doing games on TV, he's known for a lot of things. He had a lot of nicknames. So I'm wondering if we're going to hear any of those tonight. I wouldn't be surprised, but you know, he's not going to force anything. So it's going to be a lot of fun tonight. The Kings and the Denver Nuggets. And I would take the over, Kyle. I don't typically bet on sports, but if I were, I don't know what the over is for tonight, but I would take the over because Denver's 20th in defensive rating. Sacramento's 22nd. There'll be some points scored tonight.
So no defense tonight is what you're saying.
It'd be great to see some.
I don't even know what the number is, but whatever it is, you're saying.
Yes, over.
And the Kings have scored 120 plus in each of the last 3 games.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look at RJ helping you out, huh, big fella? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, so the Kings are on an offensive tear. We know Jokic is going to put up historic big-time numbers tonight. And so, no, man, it's you might be right about that. It's going to be a shootout out here.
Mm-hmm. And you think that the Kings may be catching a very vulnerable Denver team, huh? It's a guess, but that's your best guess?
Yeah, because think about it. They fired Michael Malone yesterday, They come here to Sacramento. We haven't heard from David Adelman. We haven't heard from Jokic or any of the players. So today will be their first time answering any questions about it. And so because it was such a shock, I look at it like it was for us when we went to play LA. Same situation, right before the team takes off, going on the road, got a tough game on the road, a shocking firing. And we played about 12 good minutes against the Lakers, Doug Christie's first game. But we just didn't have the energy and the mental energy to keep up. Like we were emotionally drained, if you will. And I would imagine that's how Denver's going to be tonight.
You know, I'm sitting, I could almost touch you. So you're 4 feet away. Look at the difference in the pictures here on YouTube. You look good and well lit, and I look like I'm in a horror movie or something.
I mean, that's that TV lighting. I travel with it. You know what I mean? Like everywhere I go, the lighting is on point. There you go. That's better, Whitey.
Yeah,
that's better.
Thank you, RJ.
That's better. Yeah. RJ, you're a lighting expert too, huh? Who knew?
He does it all.
Well, some things are just naturally known, but that's all right.
Naturally known. That's funny.
It's interesting, the stories that are emerging now about what happened between Michael Malone and his team. I don't know if people are finding these things out on their own, or if the Nuggets are kind of letting people know some of the things that have been going on. But does sound like, as your friend Tony told us yesterday, Michael Malone's shelf life with this team, with these players, had just expired.
And let me ask you this, because I get it. I understand that. I mean, Michael Malone's hard. But if your star player is backing you, I don't think, and I'm talking publicly behind, going to bat for you, if you will.
Yes.
If Jokic says, I want Michael Malone to be my coach, Michael Malone's going to be the coach.
Yes, sir.
And so that leads me to believe, A, either Jokic is like, hey, I'm not a part of this, I don't want to be, or B, he was okay with Michael Malone getting fired.
Right.
And that has to be some of the questions that the media asked him today.
Yeah.
Probably won't be available pregame, probably talk to him postgame. I'm interested to hear what he has to say.
Yeah. I know the company line is that the players were informed, they were not consulted. So that's part of it too, is you've got to protect. If there are some players on the team that were asked and said, yeah, we've had it with him, you have to protect them. You don't want that to get out. So a lot of things swirling around there, but maybe they experience that new coach bump tonight.
Yeah. Why do you check out the YouTube stream? Jay, I'm talking about you, big fella. What you got in your mouth? Some big league chew or something? You got some tobacco or something? Jay, dog, I'm hungry over here. And I just look up and Jay's going to town. What's going on, big fella?
I got some fruit snacks. I stole it out of my daughter's lunch situation, today.
I was like,
you pinpointed that, brother.
Right. I'm sorry, man. I just happened to look down. I was like,
somebody need to get you some popcorn and quick.
Dude, I need something. Seriously, man. I didn't have time today, dude. I've been busy today, man. It's been a rough day, man. Your boy is struggling. It's the last day I'm 49.
Wow.
So it's an emotional kind of day for me.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
What's tomorrow going to do if today's emotional for you?
No, I'm be on the golf course tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Big fella.
All right.
Be enjoying
a little
myself.
bit younger than
Jay,
that
did
old
you
guy.
say did you say you stole fruit snacks from your daughter's
I mean,
lunch
it's
situation?
sarcastically speaking. I didn't steal anything. I bought the damn stuff.
Yeah.
So I just took a couple out the box. Right.
Yours to begin with. Yeah.
Right, absolutely.
Jay, 2 hours ago, your daughter opened their lunch and was crying
right?
because the fruit is now at the studio.
Well, let me tell you how spoiled these kids are. She could have just took some of the money that she got from her father and went and bought some more.
Wow, man. It's like that in the Jay Johnson household.
Sounds like you're not the only one who's in a bad mood today.
Yeah. No, you know what, though, real quick, and Jay, your daughter's a little older than mine. My daughter's 13. How old's yours?
14.
14. So
Mine's 37.
Dropped my daughter off at her mom's today, and we got to write a check out for some field trip.
Oh.
And her mom was like, I can't do it today. I'll do it tomorrow. And my daughter just lost it. Like, no, Mom, I need it today. And I go up to my daughter. I'm like, honey, this is the exact words. And I'm like, honey, the deadline's tomorrow. Next thing you know, she started crying. And I'm like, dang. I'm like, yo, what happened? She's like, you're being mean to me. And I'm like, whoa, is this how it is to have a teenager now? Like, she just turned 13 3 weeks ago, Whitey. And I'm just like,
now you know how I feel working with you every day, but I don't say that typically.
Dude, I'm nice to you, man. I go to bat for you behind the scenes that you don't even know about. I'll tell you about that. But no, she was crying and everything, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I didn't know how to react.
Mm-hmm.
It came out of nowhere,
and
so I don't think I reacted the best though. I was like, all right, have a great day, honey. I love you, and I just walked out.
Well, maybe that's good. I mean,
tough love.
You follow up and see.
So I got to make up for it.
No,
more on that.
It's interesting you talk about that, Drake, because we just kind of had the same thing in our household with your daughter. She's trying to become an entrepreneur. So now it's my daughter. She's at her high school doing her certain things, and same situation. She's like, no, Dad, we have to go get it. I'm like, no, we'll do it later on in the week.
Right.
And oh my goodness, just a conniption,
it's like, right. It's like the world is coming to an end if you don't do it right now. And it caught me off guard. So you see why I'm in a bad mood, Whitey. I got a number of things that I'm upset about. Right?
Yes.
Should I tell you how I reacted unlike Draper? I said, sit your ass down.
Yeah. Damn, Jay. And with that note, Whitey, go ahead, tease the break.
I got nothing.
We off to a great start here. Jay, you wow.
Tell you why Buddy Hield is the butt of a lot of jokes today, and we'll have more on the ongoing family sagas of Kyle Draper and Jake. Next with the Drive Guys from the Gold One Center on Sacktown Sports.
Why'd I go to the doctor? One day at the firehouse, I was so lightheaded I could barely stand. Even my crew noticed. Getting checked out was the right call. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com, sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Are you ready to unlock your business's potential? Hey, I'm Alan Stiles, and you can do that with Roxas Technology Solutions. Their mission is to empower growth through cutting-edge, reliable, and scalable technology. They tailor solutions to enhance efficiency and foster innovation, ensuring your business thrives in the digital age. Located in Sacramento, their dedicated team is ready to partner with you for your long-term success. Transform your business now. Go to roxtech.com. That's WROXTECH.com. Rox Tech. Tomorrow's technology at your fingertips today.
All guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Spring is here, and that means gigantic savings for all your oil change needs at Jiffy Lube today. Get a $25 gift card with the purchase of any Pennzoil Platinum full synthetic oil change through May 31st at your local Jiffy Lube service center in the greater Sacramento areas. And don't forget about the additional $30 off online coupon at jiffylube.com. Terms apply. Valid email address required. See pennzoil.com/rewards for details. Jiffy Lube, huge spring savings for you today.
Sacramento's premier country music festival, Country in the Park, is coming back May 16th and 17th at Cal Expo with Bailey Zimmerman, Billy Currington, Cole Wetzel, Nate Smith, and more. You'll enjoy food trucks, rock walls, and a mechanical bull, line dancing, and more. Single-day GA tickets start at $52 at CITPFest.com. Country in the Park, May 16th and 17th with Rox Tech, Michelob Ultra, and Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. More info at CITPFest.com.
Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
Jerry Reynolds is going to join us bottom of the hour. Jerry's joining Kyle Draper tonight for the call. And before we get any further, if you guys want, if you don't want, it's fine. But if you want, I will tell you my worst moment as a parent, the biggest mistake I made as a parent to my two girls.
Ooh, what you got? I definitely want to hear it. So
Okay.
it was the mistake to the both of them.
Yes. Yes. I did both of them a disservice. They're both now, they get along great. They always have, but they're sisters when they were both younger. So they're 4 years apart. So they're like 8 and 4, something like that.
Okay.
And the younger one was kind of, establishing her territory, and she starts like pushing her big sister.
Yeah.
Pushing around. And her big sister's like, that's my little sister. I can't do anything to her.
Right.
So little sister's like hitting her and stuff. And I told Lonnie, I said, go ahead and hit her back. I figured one time, and then that'll be that. And Lonnie's like mortified, like, Dad, you want me to hit my sister? And I said, just hit her back one time and show her. So she's paralyzed, and she looks to me like, what am I supposed to do? And her little sister looks up at her and goes, wham!
Little
with
sister
a right, with a
Did
right
she do a counter?
cross. No, everyone starts
Oh.
running. Yeah, so I was like, okay, that's my mistake. I did not handle that well.
Dude, what are you raising over there? My God, and the way you're that looked like a Mike Tyson or a Vander Holyfield.
Yeah, because she was littler, and she's
Mike
looking up,
Tyson
she's
punch
like,
out, right? Like,
I'm not going to wait for her to hit
oh
me.
man, she's a firecracker, huh?
Throw that right, and and that was on me.
So when they're in therapy, and I'll be honest, I don't know how Jay feels or you. Like, I'm well aware and prepared for when my kids are 30, 40, they'll be in therapy talking about something I did when they were 8 or 11. So I accept that, Draper kids. Bring it on. I won't say, no, it's not. I get it. Wasn't always perfect. So I fully expect them to be in therapy.
Can we get like real here?
Dog, I'm all about it.
Okay. I had never thought of this with my daughters. And then I recently, a couple of years ago, found this out. My wife is Asian.
Yeah.
And I am Caucasian.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize this till a few years ago. Found out that when my daughters were growing up, they weren't sure, like, as far as their identity, which, and I was never aware, and it wasn't a huge problem,
right?
But it was something that was for them, was like, with groups, cliques in school and stuff. And I just felt so bad. I'd never even considered that. And they worked it out and they're fine. But I just felt like, oh my goodness, if I'd have known, I would have done something to help.
Right.
I didn't even think of that.
100%, man. And from my case, my ex is Caucasian, and we live in Folsom, so there's not a lot of people that look like us, that look like my kids. And we have discussions from time to time about it. And one of the struggles that I've had as a parent, if we're getting real, is how much do you talk about differences in race and how people look? Because kids come in so innocent,
right?
And you don't want to teach them,
right?
That you're different, or you're, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you don't want to start putting those barriers in front of them,
right?
Yeah.
And that's been one of the challenges, because my kids get along with everybody, and they don't, as far as I know, when we've talked about it, they haven't felt that they've been treated differently because of the color of their skin.
Mojo 916 says this is like watching an episode of the Baldwins. So I guess we
should we keep moving? Moving on?
Probably.
Sports. How about them Kings?
Yeah.
Baby?
Hey, that's the way the show is. Something comes up, we're gonna jump on it.
Yeah, we got 3.5 hours today. Yeah, we'll get to sports, no doubt about it. So.
Now I know that you were not, if I'm not mistaken, the biggest Steve Kerr guy. I know that you are a pretty big Shavano guy. You're a big Buddy Hield guy, right?
Why are you trying to frame this conversation? I'm not a Steve Kerr coaching guy at times.
Okay. All right. But you are a big Buddy Hield.
I am a Buddy Hield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what did you think of last night? And I don't know if we have it, Jay. If we don't, we'll get to it at some point. Steve Kerr was mic'd last night for some reason, and he kind of gave Buddy Hield, he was teasing him for not passing the ball to Steph Curry. And on the sidelines, he's like, hey, buddy, I want you to meet Steph Curry. He's the greatest shooter ever when he's wide open.
Did you hear Buddy's retort? He was like, yeah, but he got open late. Just like, I actually thought Steve Kerr handled it perfectly. Like, there's no yelling. There's no come to the bench.
Yeah.
Jay actually got it. He got the sound. Let's hear it, Jay.
Buddy, that's Steph Curry. Buddy Hield. I want you guys to meet each other. Say hello to Steph. He's the greatest shooter in the history of the world. Wide open. You do. You came open late. I love you, buddy. I love you.
He came open late.
I didn't pick it up. I didn't pick up on what he was saying the first time I heard that. Yeah, and then Steve gave him a big hug, which might have been overplaying it a little bit. But.
Well, but that's one of the great things about Steve Kerr, his ability to communicate with his players. You know, we know Buddy Hield has tunnel vision at times. You know, he's all about putting it up himself. And Steve Kerr just diffused the situation. I don't know if people saw it on the video, but Steph Curry was on the other side. This is after Buddy made the shot, and his hands were like, dude, like, and immediately Steve Kerr diffused the situation. And so
I like parenting, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. It really is. And, you know, because Buddy's going to be a big part of them as they make a push for the postseason in the NBA playoffs. And so I thought it was excellent coaching from Steve Kerr in that regard.
You know what it reminded me of is the Olympics documentary where, and I haven't seen many of the episodes, but it might be the first or second one, when Steve Kerr's talking to Ant-Man. And he goes, hey, man, you are built like a linebacker. And it's like, yeah. When are you going to start rebounding? You know, that's what it reminded me of. That's sort of coming one way in order to get you somewhere else.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. And the message gets across.
Yeah.
Right. And so, no, I thought it was great. And it was Buddy being Buddy. You know, he passed up Steph pretty much twice on the same play, got it again and reloaded and actually hit the shot. But yeah, he has tunnel vision out there. We've seen it billions of times out here with the Kings.
Yeah. So that's it. The Suns, well, they can't catch the Kings. They could still mathematically end up as the 10 seed, but it's looking good for the Kings hosting a play-in game, Drapes.
Yeah, it could be wrapped up tonight, right? You know, if you beat Denver and Dallas loses, then you're 2 games up with 2 to go, and you have the tiebreaker over Dallas. Dallas playing the Lakers tonight. Luka game.
Yeah.
And so we could know tonight the Kings are locked into a number 9 spot, which would be huge.
I read somewhere that Luka's camp, I guess the Mavs approached them like, hey, we want to do some special things. And they're like, no, not interested.
Really?
So they are giving away shirts to fans that say, thanks for everything in Slovenian.
Yeah, I saw that. And there will be a tribute video. I don't know what else they were, thinking about, but if you're Luka, I mean, you're not
right.
It's still the wound is still right.
Yeah.
It's still fresh. I'm still angry. I'm still upset, pissed off. Clearly he did not want to leave. This is something he did not want to happen. And the crowd will shower him with, standing ovation and everything. But from an organizational standpoint, there's some bad blood right there.
I hate to be negative here, but it's amazing how many teams in the West right now, you could say, been a disappointing year. Certainly for Dallas,
right?
Denver right now is feeling that way a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Certainly the teams below the Kings, New Orleans has been disappointing.
Yeah,
there's been a lot of disappointment out west.
You know what's interesting about that too, though, Whitey? As I pull up the standings here on my
Memphis
phone.
is certainly disappointed right now.
Yeah, but would you say the Clippers are happy? Like the Clippers probably feeling good about themselves right now, right?
They're aren't they all the way up to 6 right now?
Yeah,
but no, they're up higher than that, aren't they?
No, the Clippers are 4th.
Yeah, they're 4th.
But they got the same record as Memphis, who's 7th.
Yeah.
Isn't it crazy how, you got the same exact record, but one team is feeling great about themselves and the other firing their coach, stuff like that. It's crazy.
Yeah. A lot of crazy things going on, but we're looking forward to the return of Jerry Reynolds tonight. And Jerry's going to join us next. Drive Guys, Sacktown Sports.
Tonight, Kings and Nuggets. Game night with Scott Marsh and the high flyer Henry Turner starts at 5:30. Tip-off at 7.
The Kings play here on Sacktown Sports.
Sacktown Sports, 1140.
It's the final days of the spring sales event. Drive home your new Honda before the deals and the new Hondas disappear. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? During the spring sales event, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at folsomlakehonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our number one priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
The hot weather is coming. Is your HVAC system ready for it? Let Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating make sure it is. Get to Lee'sAirPlumbingandHeating.com. Check out their $99 HVAC tune-up special. And let me tell you why Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating is the way to go. They took care of me when our heater collapsed over the winter, and Lee's set us up with a great new HVAC system that is providing comfort, value, and quality. Let Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating take care of you. License number 635355.
What's going on, world? It's your boy Kevin Hart with some exciting news. I am coming to a city near you. My new tour is called Acting My Age, and I want to see you there. Come out, have a good night, a good time. It's all new material in a much, much more intimate setting. Go get your tickets and head to KevinHartNation.com now.
Comedy superstar Kevin Hart brings his new tour, Acting My Age, to the venue at Thunder Valley on Saturday, April 26th. Tickets on sale now at ThunderValleyResort.com and KevinHartNation.com.
Spring has sprung, and now is the best time to spruce up your home. Between spring cleaning and evaluating your home, it is the perfect time to reach out to the folks at the Overhead Door Company of Sacramento. Jason Ross here, and I'm so glad we did. We reached out, and we're now about a month in to our brand new garage doors. Now, first off, we improved our curb appeal. They look great, and it's one of the first things people notice when they approach your home. A new, modern, stylish garage door can improve the overall appearance of your home, just like it did for us. Also, how about this for a nice benefit? The return of investment. A new garage door is high on the return of investment home improvement project list. It's one of the more cost-effective upgrades you can make to improve your home's value. Hey, see for yourself. Check out their products. Go to the showroom at 6756 Franklin Boulevard and ask about the Sacktown Sports Special. Overhead Door Company of Sacramento, the genuine, the original overhead door. Always look for the red ribbon logo.
Are you tired of your tee shots ending up in the adjoining fairway while the rest of your foursome is hitting it down the middle? Well, experts will tell you that being properly fitted for golf clubs will help you strike your drive center cut. The Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio and its team of trained PGA professionals are ready to help you get rid of your banana balls and duck hooks. Hagen Oaks Indoor-Outdoor Player Performance Studio fittings are available 7 days a week. Make yours today by calling 916-808-2531. That's 808-2531.
Spring is in the air, and there's really nothing better than hitting the open road in a new Honda. Whether you're shopping for new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings. Plus, get top dollar for your trade. And while life's roads are often filled with bumps, buying from Stockton Honda couldn't be smoother. Wherever the road you travel might lead, Stockton Honda is happy to get you there. Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Hey, Kings fans, join Scott Marsh and Henry Turner at Tom's Watch Bar this Friday from 5:30 to 6:30 for a live game night broadcast and exclusive watch party against Los Angeles. Enjoy all the action with 360-degree viewing, prizes, and more. Tom's Watch Bar, all the sports, all the time.
Alan Stiles here with your Sacktown Sports Injury Update, brought to you by Downtown LA Law Group. After Tommy John surgery in May 2024, Ken Waldachuk began a bullpen progression on March 4th. He continued to throw off the mound and remains in line for a potential return to the major leagues around June. Zach Geloff got his cast removed from his hand fracture and has started light workouts. A 4 to 6 week timeline is about the standard for such injuries, but Zach Geloff hopes to be back sooner. On the court, Devin Carter has been listed as day-to-day with a shoulder contusion and will be listed as questionable for the time being. This injury report was brought to you by Downtown LA Law Group. Hi, I'm Alan Stiles. Injured at work? Call Downtown. Downtown LA Law Group, California's leading injury law firm. With over 40 lawyers throughout California, they've won over $500 million in settlements. Downtown LA Law Group will get you compensation for your work injury. You don't pay unless they win. That's right. You pay zero up front. Call Downtown. Text Injury Help to 40222. That's Injury Help to 40222. Visit them at calldowntown.com.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
What an exciting night here at the Golden One Center. The Kings are back home. The postseason is within sight. They've clinched a play-in spot. They're trying to nail down a home playing game. And tonight, an extra special night because Kyle Draper has the call. And who's this kid that's going to be you're going to be breaking in?
Well, that's a good question because he's from French Lick, Indiana, and Larry Bird is called the Hick from French Lick. I don't know what to call Jerry Reynolds tonight. I got to give him a nickname. I don't know if he has a nickname. Jerry Reynolds, the great Jerry Reynolds, joining the drive, guys. Jerry, how should I refer to you tonight? I can't say the Hick from French Lick.
Well, I'm a bigger hick than Bird ever was. It's just, I'm not necessarily proud of it, just a fact. So he lived in town. He grew up in town. I grew up at Rural Route 1. So, I mean, he didn't really understand the country life.
Jerry, we're very excited that you're going to be back on TV tonight. And I got to ask you, between you and I, working with Kyle Draper tonight, when they asked you about this, did that make you more or less likely to accept knowing that you'd be sitting next to Draper?
I said that's the only way I'll do it. No Draper, no Jerry.
Okay.
I mean, hey,
how about
I got to have the varsity. I got to have the varsity working with me.
Oh man, this is and Jerry. Just so you know, buttering up to me won't get you more airtime tonight. I won't let you, go on and on. Like you don't get paid per word tonight. So
hey, that's okay. To tell you the truth, that's good because I might wear out about the second quarter.
As far as the basketball end of it, Jerry, what we've seen from the Kings the last 3 games, how much of that do you think might be repeatable for them?
I think there's a chance. I mean, really, they played when you beat 2 really good teams like they did, and they beat them. You got to say, well, there's something there. I do think Coach Christie's, made some adjustments and getting better performances, obviously, from, Zach LaVine, and that's such a key. Domas is starting to look like himself. I think he and Zach are getting a comfort zone. And, and DeMar's DeMar. He's going to find a way to be productive about every night.
Jerry Reynolds joining us. Jerry, the Kings are playing extremely well right now. You just talked about, DeMar cooking. Conversely, Denver's coming in. They've lost 4 in a row. They fired Michael Malone. Obviously, Michael from his time here as well. What are you expecting from the Nuggets in their first game? They're reeling right now. They fired their coach. What are you expecting from them tonight?
Well, I'm not sure what to expect. Sometimes a change, will immediately have a little boost. The fact that if Murray can't play, that they're a thin team anyway. And so I'm hoping that bodes well for the Kings. I mean, David Adelman, I know, is a bright young man. I've known him for a while. And, obviously it worked for Coach Malone for a long time, who's an outstanding coach. Why they fired him is only still a minor miracle of thought. I don't know how they came up with that, but I mean, I know he'll do a good job. When you're son of Rick Adelman and you work for Coach Malone, I think you've had pretty good training.
Yeah, Jerry, tell us more if you would about Coach Adelman's son here. It's so strange in a way. I mean, it's cool, but you got Doug Christie coaching tonight against the son of his former coach. Are there ways in which he's similar to Coach Adelman, Rick, as a coach? Or, I mean, what impresses you about the guy that you've known for so long?
Well, I will say this. He's a lot more personable. So start there. I always told Rick, I said, your son's got a personality. I don't know how that'll work. But he, he's very, very bright, and obviously just growing up around basketball and played, different levels. And so, I don't think there's now, having said all that, my feeling is, sadly, I don't know that he's going to really be given a legitimate chance, and short of winning the world championship. It sounds like to me they've got, when you fire the GM too and the coach, you've probably got something in mind.
Hey, Jerry, staying with this Nuggets team, I look at, how great Jokic is, and he's going to be a handful tonight, no doubt about it. And we'll get into this on the broadcast, I'm sure, later tonight. What do you think of where he stands among all-time great big men? And, no slight to anybody, but, Bill Russell was great. Wilt, Kareem, like, those are my guys, Is Jokic in that category yet?
I think he is. He's so different. Obviously he can't rebound and defend like Russ, but then Russ couldn't shoot like he can or pass like he can. And, and Chamberlain, I still think Chamberlain's the greatest. just in the stats would kind of back that up, and people say, well, he didn't win as much. Well, yeah, it's a team game. And that same goes for Jokic. Jordan wouldn't have won too many championships without Pippen. And so there's that. But I definitely, when you start talking about the greatest centers of all time, you better not go much deeper than top 5. I mean, he's got to be in there.
Wow. Yeah. Jerry Reynolds with us. Jerry, he's next to Kyle tonight.
Yeah.
Call here for Kings and the Nuggets. Getting back to the Kings, Jerry, I know we have talked a lot in recent weeks about the fit of this roster and how in some ways it seems like such an awkward fit. But as you said, they're playing so well right now. To me, it's very significant that in the last 3 wins, you've had Domas and Levine and DeMar. They've all had big games in the same game, 3 games in a row. How good of an indication is that maybe they are figuring some things out?
Well, I think it is a great indicator. Exactly that. And you need those guys to be productive. They don't necessarily have to put up the numbers, that we saw the other night. But I mean, in a nutshell, I mean, they've got to be productive, which means if DeRozan gets 20 points on 15 shots, that's good enough. He doesn't have to get 35, but he's got to be productive. And I think with the current lineup, I mean, it's thin with whether Monk is able to go or Jake. I mean, they're definitely thin, but I mean, Keon Ellis is a perfect fit in there because he could play 10 minutes without shooting. It doesn't affect his game. Keegan's a little bit like that. Now those other 3, they kind of need to feel some leather on a regular basis.
Hey Jerry, that brings up a great point because no Keegan tonight, no Malik, no Jake. All 3 of could the way we're seeing Zach and DeMar and Domas. Is that a byproduct of us actually being shorthanded? Could it have been a good thing that we've had these injuries and now we've sort of established a pecking order and who we are identity-wise, especially offensively?
I think there's some truth in that. I mean, the important thing is that, they knew you had to play them huge minutes, and, of course, they were all really good. The downside is if one of them's really playing poorly, who do you go to? I mean, that's where the thin bench gets into it, which they currently are right now. But it's very true, that with the thin roster as it was, those 3 guys had to play huge minutes, and fortunately they were all terrific.
Jerry, tonight, as I was thinking about it, is this the first game you've done since you did a remote broadcast during the pandemic? Didn't you do you were the analyst, but on a remote one time during the pandemic for the Kings?
Yeah, I did 2 with Mark Jones, and Katie had some illness, and so and I was remote. I was in the studio in San Francisco, and Mark, I think it was Philly and in Washington, maybe I can't remember. It's such a exciting broadcast, but I mean it's hard to do, man. I don't know how to be tonight. I might, I think the main thing I'll be focused on is make sure I know where the restroom is. But
Jerry, I'm not even going to touch that one. All I know is if I see you get up and run out, I'll know why.
Every man in the building that's over 60 will understand completely.
Oh man, Jerry Reynolds joining us. Jerry, when you look at where this team is, and it's been a roller coaster. We understand that. We've seen this team put together a few games of great basketball. Now we're playing 3 games in a row. Is what we've seen the last 3 games, is that believable? Has that made you a believer that, they can make some noise in this play-in that's upcoming and get to the playoffs?
I don't think I'm a believer yet. I kind of want to see a little more of it, I know that may be the old curmudgeon in me sneaking out there, but, I've been to the county fair before and been disappointed. So I think we all as fans, and that's what I am now, want to see a little more consistent excellence that we saw these last 2.
We'll let you go, Coach, but I do want to ask you real quickly before we do. I wouldn't ask you what they are, but is there a chance we'll have any new nicknames tonight? Is that a possibility?
I don't have a clue right now. If they pop out, they pop out, and Kyle may have to reach over here and pop me, and say, but we'll just see. I'm not preparing anything. Let's put it that way. I mean, although having said that, I've been up since 1:00 this morning, just focusing and preparing and studying. If you believe that,
I don't know if you believe that, I set the over/under on 8.5 minutes.
If you believe that, I got some farmland in French Lick. I'll sell you.
All right, Jerry, I'm looking forward to it tonight, man. Can't wait.
I am too. We'll just give them what we got. That's all we can do.
Yep.
All right, we'll see you in a bit. Thanks again. Have
See
fun
you guys.
tonight.
Bye.
All right.
Okay, the great one, Jerry Reynolds, returning to the airwaves tonight. He'll be Kyle Draper's analyst. Right. What a tandem this is.
This is going to be fun, man.
Yeah.
This is going to be fun.
He knows you too well.
Right.
Oh, I wouldn't do it if it wasn't for Draper.
Yeah, that's my guy. I appreciate that, man. He's going to make it easy for me, too. I'm looking forward to it.
We're going to take a look at Luka's ejection last night and maybe even hear that Laker announcer, speaking of announcing, who went nuts last night after that ejection. Next, Drive Guys, Sacktown Sports.
Coach Doug Christie here for your truck headquarters, Folsom Lake Ford. Shop all your favorite models on sale now, like America's best-selling F-Series. Check out a huge selection of Mavericks, F-150s, and Super Duty trucks, or tech-filled SUVs like Explorers and Expeditions, plus a huge selection of Broncos and Bronco Sports. All in stock now at Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall. Right now, buy any new Ford with zero down on approval of credit. Save big with low interest finance rates. And Folsom Lake Ford always pays top dollar for your trade. Hurry to Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall, a 6-time Triple Crown winner for sales and service excellence. That's why they are my trusted dealer, and they should be yours too. For 35 years and counting, come down and take a test drive today. Tell them Coach Doug Christie sent you, or shop online at FolsomLakeFord.com.
Have you ever dreamed of shopping for the perfect jewelry from home? Well, now it's possible, and you can even build your credit. PrestigiOJewelers.com now offers online shopping, making us the premium credit jeweler nationwide. With an exceptional selection of fine jewelry, from engagement rings and gold chains to sparkling diamond earrings and much more. With over 30 years of experience, Prestigio guarantees you'll find exactly what you're looking for. It's fast and easy. Once approved, you'll receive a guaranteed credit line from $400 to $10,000. All you need is to be 18 years or older, have a valid form of ID, be employed for a minimum of 6 months, and a bank account for automatic payments. PrestigiOJewelers.com is the perfect way to establish or reestablish your credit, with interest rates at only 2.25% per month. We are here to help you with monthly reporting to all major credit bureaus. The perfect jewelry, the perfect price, helping you build perfect credit. Visit us online at PrestigiOJewelers.com or at one of our locations in Sacramento, Stockton, Merced, and Fresno. Enter code SACTOWNSPORTS at checkout to save 10%.
If you've got a gas-powered engine, keep it running like new at every fill-up. Stable in-season protection is your engine's preventative medicine, cleaning and protecting the entire fuel system in season. In outdoor power equipment, prevent gum and varnish buildup that could cause a rough or non-running engine. For cars and trucks, increase fuel efficiency and power by removing deposits, ensuring your engine's long-term health. Stable outperforms the competition in independent lab testing. So at every fill-up, start with Stable.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture with daily use.
Spring is here, and that means gigantic savings for all your oil change needs at Jiffy Lube today. Get a $25 gift card with the purchase of any Pennzoil Platinum full synthetic oil change through May 31st at your local Jiffy Lube service center in the greater Sacramento areas. And don't forget about the additional $30 off online coupon at jiffylube.com. Terms apply. Valid email address required. See pennzoil.com/rewards for details. Jiffy Lube, huge spring savings for you today.
Every day
Capital
when
Casino,
we're on the road,
conveniently
people rather
located
engage
on
with
411th
themselves and
North
others
16th
by
Street
looking
in
at their
downtown
phones while
Sacramento.
driving. There's the sneaker peeker who darts their eyes between the road and their texts, or the nightlighter who illuminates their car after dark. If that's you, reconsider before you find yourself becoming the fender bender-er, the got a ticket-er, or worst of all, the driver who killed someone. Put the phone away or pay. Paid for by NHTSA.
All power, zero compromise. Ego cordless outdoor power equipment features advanced lithium battery technology that exceeds the power and performance of gas without the noise, fuss, or fumes. From blowers and trimmers to mowers and pressure washers, one battery powers over 90 tools. No wonder it is the #1 rated brand in cordless outdoor power. Power beyond belief. Visit egopowerplus.com to learn more or to find an Ego retailer near you. That's egopowerplus.com.
Capital Casino, conveniently located on 411th North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
You can see it that happened, but I never got a fan ejected, never. But if he's gonna talk, I'm gonna talk back like always. So that had nothing to do with the ref. So I didn't really understand.
The Drive Guys, live and local, every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sacktown Sports.
Luka and the Lakers returning to Dallas tonight. But last night, Luka ejected from a game against the Thunder because JT Orr, having already teed up Luka once, teed him up, even though Luka actually was talking trash to a fan. What an interesting situation, Drapes.
Yeah, that's a bad look for the league and for the officials.
We do have an update on it, which we'll get to.
Are you okay? Okay.
What you're
all right.
about.
No, because here's the thing. JT Orr had already rang Luka up earlier.
Yeah.
And according to, I think it was it Finney Smith or Vanderbilt postgame, said JT Orr told him, I will talk to everyone except Luka. During the game, he told him this. So there's precedent already that JT Orr and Luka got some beef. And then I could get why JT Orr thought Luka might have been talking to him because the fan's right behind JT Orr, the angle and everything. I get that. But the fact that JT Orr thinks that Luka would say what Luka said, and I can't repeat it on air, drop some F, some B words, stuff like that, that he would say that to an official leads me to believe that the officials think Luka gets way out of hand when it comes to the trash talk to the officials. He said some pretty bad things over the years. If JT Orr is really thinking that Luka's saying that to him.
Well, first we have the Laker TV call. This is Billy Mack and Stu Lance, and this is the way they broke it down as it happened.
Well, it's great seeing all the stars in action tonight. Nobody's sitting except for Rui. That knee management. Doncic starts, stop, shoot, gonna score.
Well, he got the switch. He won it again. Hardenstein. Luka's thrown out of the game.
Oh, no.
Luka just got thrown out.
There you go. Second technical. Doncic is gone.
Luka is saying he was talking to a fan, and the official is saying he was talking to me. So that's his second technical. He's out of the game. Luka makes this shot, and I guess one of the fans in the first row, he was saying something. Luka said something back, and the official happened to be in that area.
Yeah, so that was the TV call. So the Laker announcer shocked, but didn't really comment on it. But on the radio call, John Ireland and our friend Michael Thompson, John Ireland goes nuts here.
Hey, with him, Luka throws up an 8-footer, good. And the Lakers lead 108-107.
Oh, Luka just got thrown out.
Why?
He was talking trash to a fan, and the referee thought he was talking to him.
Oh, this is an absolutely horrible decision by JT Orr, by the official. Absolutely horrible. You cannot throw a star player out of an NBA game for talking to a fan.
No, the referee thought he was talking to him, and that's why he threw Luka out.
You cannot do this. Oh, my gosh. This is unconscionable. You cannot do this in a game that's this good. This is one of the worst pieces of officiating I have ever seen, and I've done this for 25 years. I hate this call, And I would say the same thing if they were doing it to Shea. The free throw's good to tie the game at 108. You cannot, Michael, throw a star player out of the game for talking to a fan.
He didn't think he was talking to the fan.
I don't care.
The referee thought he was talking to him. That's why he threw Luka out.
They had 3 Lakers explain it to him, and he still stuck to his guns because his ego is bigger than Luka staying in the game.
So there,
John Ireland. I love it. I love it.
Now, did you hear what Windhorst said about it today?
No, what did Windhorst say?
He said, look, yeah, the official made a mistake, but if Luka didn't talk to officials that way, or would not have assumed that he was talking to him.
That's what I was saying.
So Luka bears some responsibility there. However, the NBA has rescinded the second technical that Luka Doncic received in the fourth quarter, leading to his ejection. And we don't have any more details on that other than that the league has gone in and gone, all right, no T there.
And how about this, Whitey? The league rescinded it with the quickness. This might be one of the quickest rescinding of a technical I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, you're talking, 18 hours, if that, away from the game. Like, and it really changed the game.
Yeah.
It was a tight game, exactly. And then OKC went on the run. That changed the entire momentum. But here's the thing. Here's the bigger issue at hand. And who knows what the fan said. But the fan-player interaction might be going a little too far.
I would think.
Right?
Right.
Like, we see it with Westbrook. We see it with Luka. We see it with a number of players. Like,
well, your code of conduct doesn't mean anything. If fans, you're not supposed to talk this way, and you got players on the floor talking to fans, using words that fans are not supposed to use.
And it's both ways, though.
Yes, it is.
I do think fans at times cross the line.
No question.
As a matter of fact, I'll tell a story. It was Dallas right here in town facing the Sacramento Kings. And I'm down there. It was a national game. So I'm down there sitting in my broadcast seats, and I'm able to hear everything because I don't have the headset on. And a fan said something to Luka, and it definitely crossed the line. It was so bad. One of the assistant coaches, I forget which team he's on, he turned to me and gave me the eyes like, oh, my gosh. And so fans have to be better.
Yes.
Like, you can't, I mean, at the end of the day, these basketball players are human beings. Before they're Luka Doncic, number 77 on the Lakers, he's a human. And we got to start treating each other better. Conversely, some of the stuff these players say back has crossed the line too.
Now, couldn't Luka or couldn't any player, couldn't they point out to a fan? Yeah.
Easily.
Luka did say last night, he said, I have never had a fan ejected. He said it like with a badge of honor.
Yeah.
But maybe sometimes fans should be ejected.
Dude, I think so,
But not in that. Well, I don't know in that case because I don't know what the fan said.
Depending on what the fan said. And that's the power that these players do have. And we've seen Westbrook do it. I forget somebody else did it as well recently.
Didn't Marcus Smart? He
almost went into the stands to confront a fan. This was in Boston too, when Washington went back last week. But yeah, it's crossed the line, man. I think, and I put the onus on fans. People say, well, these athletes, they get paid millions of dollars. They should just tune it out and everything like that. But what fans have to realize too is these athletes are playing, Whitey. The testosterone level is rising. Like, they're in a mindset and a mind frame where they're already heightened. They're doing battle out there. So they're already emotional out on the court. And then you got this fan. I don't know. I think fans are taking it too far.
They are.
Times.
Yeah. Players should be able to tune some of it out. Right. But when it, as you say, gets really personal or sexual or racist, it's like, it should not be tolerated.
And I'll say this to Luka. Dude, just get the guy kicked out.
Yeah.
Like, instead of yelling at him and screaming obscenities back and forth, just be like, you know what, man, it's too much. You've crossed the line. Security, can you handle this for me? And let security do their job.
The only other time I can think of where I saw a technical rescinded, like what had actually happened during a game. Remember TJ Ford?
Mm-hmm.
He was driving and he took a bad fall, and Lawrence Frank was his coach, and he ran, I think, was it the Nets? He ran down the court, and the referee saw him and teed him up right away, and he goes, I'm here to help my player.
That they picked it
and they
up.
said, all right, never mind.
Well, remember, who was it a couple of weeks ago? Somebody got injured, and he shot the free throws. Oh, I'm drawing a blank. Shot the free throws, and his teammates came out on the court to help him off.
Kyrie?
But it was before. Was it Kyrie? Yeah, it was Kyrie. Yes,
exactly.
And they got technical for it. Like it's like, dude, don't you see that you got a fallen guy right there? They're trying to help him off.
They should have been teed up for that.
Come on, Whitey. If that would have happened to the Kings, you would have been John Ireland on them.
That is unconscionable. What version of the Nuggets shows up at G1C tonight? Our best guess is next on Sacktown Sports.
If you've got a gas-powered engine, keep it running like new at every fill-up. Stable in-season protection is your engine's preventative medicine, cleaning and protecting the entire fuel system in season. In outdoor power equipment, prevent gum and varnish buildup that could cause a rough or non-running engine. For cars and trucks, increase fuel efficiency and power by removing deposits, ensuring your engine's long-term health. Stable outperforms the competition in independent lab testing. So at every fill-up, start with Stable.
Progressive knows if you have to choose between everyday life and your RV, RV wins.
What, are you going to take the RV to the mountains or go pick up your dry cleaning?
RV wins!
Are we cleaning the gutters or taking the RV camping?
RV wins!
Are we getting a new passport or cruising up the coast?
RV wins!
Don't forget, you got that trip to Sweden coming up.
Oh, yeah, passport, then RV.
With Progressive, you can bundle your RV with your home or auto and save with a discount and spend more time enjoying those savings in your RV. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates, other insurers, not available in all states and situations.
Needed one recently for our garage door because it wouldn't close. But I was happy with the service we got and the prices we got, and the product we got from National Garage Door. Whitey Gleason here for National Garage Door. Whether you're looking to repair an existing door or get a brand new one installed, you need National Garage Door. They're family owned and operated, been around since 1974. And they've been around that long because service is their number one priority. National Garage Door are the region's BSE, broken spring experts. Styles, prices, quality of the doors, quite surprising. Our garage door, as I said, was starting to sound like a box of scrap metal tumbling down the stairs. I don't do the sound effects like Kyle, but you can imagine what that sounded like. So Kevin from National Garage Door came out. He said, we could patch up the old one, keep this thing running for a while. We decided to get the new garage door, and we're very excited about that. It looks great. National Garage Door sells quality Rainer branded garage doors. They offer sales, service, and installation on all residential and commercial doors and operators. If you have garage door needs, old ones coming apart, you're looking to improve your curb appeal, let National Garage Door come through for you in the clutch. Be your closer, 916-638-4554. That's National Garage Door.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers.
T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it. Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with Turbo Power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/choice55 to learn more. With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 new lines with autopay for well-qualified customers, plus taxes, fees, and $35 per line connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us, plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Charger sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
You've heard the saying, penny wise, pound foolish, right? It means you do something that will save you a little bit right now, just pennies, but that ends up costing you pounds in the end.
People put off tuning up their furnace because they don't want to take the time or spend the money to get it done.
But it only takes 90 minutes and costs just $87, which is just pennies compared to the huge problems and expenses that can rack up if you don't get your furnace tuned up.
You'll also save money on your energy bills, and your system will last longer.
So don't be penny wise and pound foolish. Call Bell Brothers for a precision tune-up and professional cleaning today.
Our number is 916-444-1234 or find us online at thenosurpriseguys.com.
The No Surprise Guys, Bell Brothers.
Sacramento Kings basketball is after the launch to beat the Blacks. And he scores another three-pointer.
The run to the playoffs.
Oh, what a pretty move by Giannis Sabonis on Sacktown Sports 1140.
For show, playboy. Y'all can't outstun us with these cars. Believe me, you know me.
Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
A lot of Kings fans enjoyed hearing John Ireland lose a little bit.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was awesome. Sorry, Whitey, I'm a little busy right now.
Oh, what you doing? You on an app? Are you on one of those apps?
Yeah, I'm on Ticketmaster. The Golden State Valkyries, WNBA team, about to play their inaugural season. So they're having a pre-sale right now. Just started at 3:00.
Wow.
I'm like, hey, my daughter likes Caitlin Clark. Let me see, get some pre-sale tickets. They only have upper level, like the 200 level. Like all the lower level is blocked out. Can't find it. Cheapest 200 level seat, $118.50. A little too pricey.
You're gonna need just two, or you're gonna need more than that?
It's gonna take my son also.
Yeah,
So you're talking $500.
Take me and Jay.
Nah. I might have to get the media credentials, but I'm shocked. There's no lower level seats here. Like, give me, nothing. It'd probably be $200-$300, but
right.
I'm shocked by that, man. So it's just I was working on that.
Okay.
Right.
So did you finish, or did you get anything?
No, I said, I'm not getting.
All right.
I'm not going to pay. That's
sore subject with a lot of former Monarchs fans. The whole Valkyries thing. I get it. But it's too bad.
Is this sort of similar to A's Sacramento Oakland, or in terms of like the feelings of?
Oh, it's just that Sacramento fans supported the WNBA here at a time when not a lot of people did.
Right.
And now, of course, it's very popular. So. And some of it is I don't know that there are any interests here who really have pursued a team, so that's part of it. I get it, but it's frustrating for fans. Like, we really supported this when it was brand new, and now everyone loves it, and they're down the road. The bigger cities, the Valkyries, who have the Monarchs colors. Yeah.
Why do you? I touched the nerve with this one here. No, I'm with you. We got the great Jerry Reynolds, so I should have asked him about that if he would have been on.
Yeah.
I was going to go though support,
of course.
Because I'm a Caitlin Clark fan. I was going to go see her, or maybe the Aces with Asia Wilson.
Yeah,
something like. I got a young daughter as well, so I'll take her down there.
Yeah, I'm not saying there's any reason why someone should not go. It's just too bad that Sacramento got. Well, I mean, they got a championship. It's not like they didn't get anything,
right?
But they supported the heck out of that team. Yeah, had some good teams too. Good players.
What's the backstory on why it ended?
I think it had to do with the Maloofs and their finances
and everything. Okay.
Yeah, things got a little tight for them.
Right.
Yeah. And things weren't great for the WNBA at that time.
I wonder how much Vivek has pushed for that here.
No idea.
Yeah, I have no idea either. I would imagine, money wouldn't be an issue. I mean, look at this facility.
Right.
Look at the growth here, at Doco and everything. Like, man, can you imagine if we had a WNBA team? That would be massive.
Did I ever tell you about how the Monarchs got really mad at me? Why?
Dude,
so, that was during the heyday of the Kings, right?
Yeah.
And during the Kings season, you could just anytime we'll go to the phones, there'd be 8 people ready to talk about Peja, Seawell, whatever.
Like that. Yeah.
So then we had it's a slight exaggeration, but you get the point. Yeah. So then we had the Monarchs, and we'd be doing the shows in like June, July. People didn't call about the Monarchs. And I liked it and everything, but it's like, we're talking about the Monarchs. There's not a lot of interest in it. So I'd go, let's go to the phones. Hi, you're on to talk about the Monarchs. And it'd be, and okay, next call. Hey, you're on to talk about the Monarchs. And
so it was a bit that you did?
It was a bit. And then finish the show. And I got our boss, Mike Ramey, say, the Monarchs heard that. They weren't crazy about that. So the way I had to make it up to them, and I was fine with this, they sent me to Phoenix, me and my partner, Kevin the Rat, and we went to a game in Phoenix. And we hung out with the players a little bit. We rode the team bus. Not that much, because I always loved it.
Right.
That wasn't really the point,
Right.
You know that they got a lot of grief, at that time.
Yeah.
WNBA is like, oh, what is this? I wasn't that way. I was just kind of making fun of the fact that it wasn't that popular. And it was great because I loved going. I got to see Diana Taurasi.
Right. Think about that. Yeah. Now look at the league, man. Great players, man. Darn. So, I'm going to get back to looking it up on Ticketmaster while you do the show right now.
Okay. All right. Well, I was going to ask, can I ask you a question first?
Go for it.
I know we talked about this earlier. What version of the Nuggets shows up at G1C tonight? Your best guess. Fired up Nuggets, flustered, Nuggets, or just kind of a befuddled team that's not sure what's going on yet? Tentative Nuggets. Or chicken nuggets.
Or chicken nuggets, too. I'm going to go with the befuddled Nuggets. The unsure of themselves kind of Nuggets. Because what we've seen from them, Jokic putting up great numbers. Aaron Gordon's been great. No Jamal Murray. Their issue is defensively. And defense is all about effort. And I just don't see Jokic making that effort tonight defensively. And so, you talked about taking the over. I 100% agree. Like, I think it's going to be a lot of scoring in this game. It's easy to look good offensively when things are in trouble because everybody likes playing offense. It's fun, but defense is where you can really tell. And this team, talking about the Nuggets, they've been a sieve defensively as of late. And so this is still fresh for them. Like, this is their first game, unless everybody's happy Malone's not gone. But according to the reports, it was a split locker room almost. Half the people were Malone guys, other half not, And so I think they're a team that's in trouble. I think they're a team, especially without Jamal Murray, that is going to have some issues. And I'm looking for a Kings win tonight.
A lot of people are pointing to this quote from Michael Malone. This was a few games ago, about a week ago or so, when they lost to Portland. He said at that time, I don't know what our guys are thinking with 11 games to go. I challenge them to look at the standings. He says, very simple. It's just the way it is. I think every guy has to look themselves in the mirror, start coming to each respective game with the proper mindset, have some pride. I didn't think we played with any pride tonight. Somebody asked him, what about how you're so honest about this? How do you think the players are responding? Quote, I don't really care. It's not my job to evaluate how they take things. My job is to be honest and sometimes brutally honest. He goes on to say, basically, let's see, I'll just read it. The players can say coach is tripping, and the guys that maybe do really care, they're not going to go back and wet their minutes because nobody watches their minutes. Nobody watches film, so we'll have to show them the film. And I said, if somebody disagrees with me, please speak up. And nobody said a word. So, yeah, you can say, wow, he's right on the money there, but you just are not going to last long,
right?
If that's your approach.
Yeah, we had Tony Jones of The Athletic on yesterday, and one of the first things he said was Michael Malone had lost the locker room.
Yeah.
There it is right there. That's the key. And, it's sort of like, kind of different, but sort of similar to Mike Brown, chastising and criticizing some of the players in the media and challenging De'Aaron Fox and everything. And, when it sounds like in Denver, guys got tired of hearing that.
Yeah.
Like, you know what, coach? We're doing our best and everything. Maybe if you would have got a better roster here, we'd be better, and it sounded like there was some pushback, and the message and the voice just got old and tiresome for the night.
I wouldn't be surprised if on some level he knew that was going to happen at some point, but he just felt if I do nothing, they don't respond. I've got to push it.
Yeah.
At some point, I'll push it too far, but if I don't push it, nothing's going to happen. Because especially since they won the title, he has a number of times openly called them out.
Yeah.
And it just, as you say, that works. And then every time you do it, it works a little less to get to the point where it's like, done. We're done with you, coach.
Well, and that's where the players have to take some accountability also. Like, who's your player leader on that team? Who had coach's back on that team? It doesn't sound like anybody did.
Right.
It just sounds like, coach was out there on an island. If Jokic would have been like, yeah, come on, guys, you got to do this. And maybe that's not his nature. Things might be different, but it's that's the most stunning move in terms of coaching decisions to me this season. I mean, and I don't know how Adelman is going to react. Like, how's he going to do? He apparently is the offensive guru, the offensive coordinator for Denver, but their issues are defensively. Like, we'll see what happens tonight.
Yeah, NBA analysts Michael Malone, Calvin Booth never liked each other. Yeah. Apparently, they had disagreements over Westbrook's minutes because Calvin Booth wanted some of the younger players he brought in to play more. Yeah. And Michael Malone was playing Westbrook. And then when they had that terrible loss to Minnesota where Westbrook just melted down at the end of that game and pretty much cost him the game, that exacerbated all of that. So,
yeah, that's tough. And, Westbrook had been good, but ever since then, and I was listening to ESPN earlier, they said that game right there.
Yeah.
Windhorst, I think, said it. That game changed everything for Denver. They win that game, they're feeling good, but the way they collapsed and fell in that game.
The other thing, Grapes, is they've lost, 4 in a row. without Jamal Murray.
Yeah.
He's their second best player.
Right.
So, of course, they're not playing as well.
Right.
It was the coach's fault that Jamal Murray got hurt. I know there's more to it, but
yeah,
it's bizarre.
It is bizarre. And, he's out tonight. This will be a 6th straight game missed, and they're hopeful that he'll be ready for the playoffs or play in whatever they play in. But this is a team, outside of Jokic, they don't have much. Gordon's a nice player. Brown's a nice player, but it's not working. It's not fitting for some reason. And so, hey, hopefully we can take advantage tonight.
Yes, when we come back, the Kings question that since opening night has remained unanswered. Next with the Drive Guys, Sacktown Sports.
Stay up to date on Sacramento sports. Join the Sacktown Sports 1140 newsletter. Visit sacktownsports.com.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Consolidated Communications.
I'm meteorologist Heather Waldman in the KCRA3 Weather Center. A mild start Thursday with valley temperatures already in the low to mid 50s. Pretty warm in the afternoon, too. Highs in the mid 80s with a few high clouds. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA app.
For your home internet, choose more speed and less frustration. Fidium Fiber Internet was built for reliability. It's perfect for streaming sports, watching TV, and working from home. Check out fidiumfiber.com for speeds up to 2 gigs.
Capital Casino, conveniently located on 411th North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
Listen up, fellow Gen Xers. Elizabeth Banks here. The recommended age for pneumococcal pneumonia vaccination has been lowered to 50 and older, even if you're healthy. It's up to us to lead the way. We've done this before. Music videos, fanny packs, even the World Wide Web. Let's do it again and get vaccinated, because we're at over 6 times greater risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Gen X, this is our shot. Visit vaxassist.com and schedule a vaccine today. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
With the Kings taking on the Nuggets, we've, of course, been talking a lot about Michael Malone, just fired by the Nuggets, along with the GM, Calvin Booth. And I'd forgotten about this.
Yeah.
Yeah. You remember this? Somebody asked this in the chat, too. I'd forgotten. Calvin Booth was a Sacramento King.
Yeah, I didn't know that either until somebody
2009. Yeah, 7 games. Do you remember that, Jay? Honestly, it's like, I don't really remember that. Do you remember that, Jay?
Nah, I don't remember that. It actually escaped my memory.
Yeah.
So what, one season, one year?
I think 7 games at the
7
very end of his
cup
career.
Of coffee. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Those were not very memorable teams at that time.
Yeah. Yeah. And then on the chat, people just started naming names. Ty Lawson, Aaron LaFallo, Andre Miller. They just started, that's a good game to play, right? Like, guess this
random recall roll
Kings.
call.
Yeah, or something like. I like that. What is that?
Random recall roll call.
You've done that before.
I have.
All right,
Sometimes I just throw it out on Twitter. Just name a team and random recall roll call.
I like that. That's a good idea.
Yeah. So give me a couple Kings.
From when? Just whenever?
Whatever. Yeah, random.
I don't even know where. I mean,
but it's not like Chris Webber and
right. That's what I'm saying. You can't go with the well name guys. Let me go with.
Come on, Drape, start us off, man.
No, because I'm looking for the perfect one. All right, let me go with Keon Clark.
Yeah, good.
Right?
Marcus Thornton.
Are we really doing this right now?
Well, no, we're just having fun. It's not a contest.
Kyle Guy.
I know. God, that's weak, Jay.
Who did Jay say?
Kyle Guy.
Oh, I like that.
How about this one? And I don't know if this actually counts. A guy we just saw in Cleveland, Sam Merrill. He was a training camp
I like that
for the
one.
Sacramento Kings.
I might get Sam on the show.
On the roster during camp and also during preseason.
Did he play a regular season game? Did he or did he not?
All right, okay, you got me
Yeah.
there. You got me there.
Malachi Richardson.
Oh, that's a good one too. My gosh. Let me go with random Kings. We just saw Daquan Jeffries.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Jamias Ramsey.
Oh, you go Robert Woodard. I could do that game too. I could do that. Oh man.
It is fun.
Yeah.
A good way to waste time.
Somebody said Bonzi Wells. That can't count, right?
He's too
Bonzi's
good, right?
pretty
That's
good,
too
right?
big. Yeah, too big of a name.
Yeah.
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 Not obscure enough. You
Now,
can play,
bridge
but
crossover. Ben McLemore. Come on, bro. Come on.
well,
You
some
can't do
people
that.
aren't the connoisseurs of the game that you are.
No, I'm not.
You live and
I'm-
breathe it. It's your livelihood.
Yeah, but because that's the thing. You like, I want to say Tyreek Evans or you want to come with random like.
How about, is this obscure enough is why I'm asking. Quincy Doobie.
No, that's yes, I think so.
Love
Is that
Quincy.
obscure enough, Jay?
Yeah. Quincy,
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
one of them guys, but yeah, I'm looking for a Vitaly Potapinko.
Potapinko.
How about that one?
Saw him the other day too. Who's he with? He's with Detroit, I think.
Really?
Oh, really?
Hey, look
yeah,
that up.
Yeah, saw him the other day. Yeah, look that up. I just saw him, I feel like, the other day.
John
on the road.
Brockman.
John Brockman. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
He used to have a weekly spot on our show.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is John Barry obscure enough, or is that on the borderline?
That's probably on the borderline.
That's too.
Yeah.
John Barry's a
Because
bench
he was
mob guy.
Yeah.
All
yeah.
right, okay.
How
Potapinko
about
was
a teammate?
Cavaliers. The Cavaliers.
Yeah.
dress.
Cavaliers is where I saw him. Okay.
Vernon
okay.
Maxwell.
V Max.
Ooh,
But
that's-
he was, as a King, he was
yeah,
kind of obscure.
right.
But
As a king,
Mad
he was
Max was
obscure.
pretty well
Brian
known.
That's
Skinner.
a good one.
Yeah.
Brian Skinner. Yeah. How about Terrence Davis? Not anymore. but
Current.
fella,
Current,
yeah,
yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
How about if I go like that? Do you know who that is?
I should know. I know that. Who's that?
Double M, and I think he was 33. Mikey Moore.
Oh,
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
That's a good one, man. Why
He had
did
like one big game against him when he was with the Nets, and the next year they signed him, the big
Right.
contract, and he didn't have many big games like
Yeah, Mikey Moore.
Yeah.
But the thing about the Kings, and we did this in our like, the 6 degrees of separation does not apply to them. Like, I feel like everybody has come through here
Yes.
at one point or another. At
Yeah.
least they're one team removed or something like
yeah,
that.
like Devin Carter's dad, I don't think ever played for the
Yeah.
Kings, which is astounding.
right, astounding.
Because he played for a lot of teams
Lot
in
of
that
teams.
era where, as you say, everybody played for the Kings
Yeah.
at one point.
Yeah, exactly. This would be a good exercise. I got to prepare for it though, Whitey. And I know that's not the essence of the game and everything like that, but because the Kings had some dark years, and I'm gonna keep it real. I wasn't checking the 12th man on the 2016.
You weren't looking
Sacramento
for
Kings or
Rodney
the
Buford?
2009. Exactly.
Ray McCallum.
Oh my gosh.
Shouts out to Ray McCallum, man.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good game, man.
Yeah.
We should do that this offseason.
Okay.
All obscure team or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Is Jim Peterson too well known?
He is now.
Oh yeah.
Right? Yeah. Jerry, I think, traded, and he didn't want to because he had to trade Otis Thorpe to the Rockets for
yeah.
Jim Peterson and Rodney McRae.
Rodney.
And I believe he's like, why do you want to trade Otis Thorpe? We don't want to trade Otis Thorpe.
Yeah.
And they didn't want to pay him. So
Oh, is that what it was?
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
'cause
See,
look
again,
at
sometimes they're like, what's a GM doing?
Yeah.
And sometimes the GM doesn't have
that. Yeah. Did a Scooter ever play here? His brother at all or no?
John Barry's brother?
No, Scooter McRae. Rodney McRae's brother?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think so.
That's a good. I'm gonna have to look this up, man.
You could do it for any team. It's really fun.
You really
for
could, yeah.
Baseball. I know you're not a real baseball guy, but it's really fun with baseball.
Dude, we gotta do that in the off season. You know?
It'll be here before you know it, won't it?
It can't wait.
Here is what our friend Law Murray had today in the Athletic. He has his power rankings. He always kind of gives it a little twist here or there. So what he did today is he has every team ranked, and the Kings are 19th right now, and he has his tiers. But he also goes back to his question that he asked for each team in week 1 of the season. So he just goes back, ranks the team, how they're doing, and then the week 1 question. So for the Kings, the question he asked week one was this: how does this roster get stops? And Law Murray says the question still needs an answer.
Damn, that's true.
Fair enough, isn't it?
Yeah.
That is the biggest puzzle that they have not been able to solve.
Right, and they had that one bump right after All-Star break, right after the Warriors game. They had strung together, really great defense, but last month or so, it's just been non-existent. And I will say, though, they've done a good job the last 2 games.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Especially the second half of that Pistons game.
Right. Second half Pistons, and then holding Cleveland to, whatever it was, 99 or something like that. So they've done a good job. But, yeah, that's the issue with this team.
Wouldn't you say, Drapes, I know there has to be a good reason for this if it's true. There has to be a good reason. So I'm not saying these coaches don't know what they're doing. But early on, and you alluded to it, when Doug first took over, they ran a lot of traps out in the open floor.
Yeah.
And they mixed up a lot more zone, and they junked it up a little bit, and they were having a lot of success with that out on the perimeter. I know De'Aaron isn't there anymore, but it seems like they've gone away from that, does it not?
You're right.
And like I said, I'm sure there's good reason, but they're just not doing that as much.
I'm going to have to ask Doug that at some point today, because you're right. That was a staple of theirs early in his tenure. You know? Especially, and he just didn't do it in the first. Like, it was time to catch the opponent off guard.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And no, we don't see that at all right now. The traps or anything like that. That's surprising, because this is something he talking about Doug when he first took over the job, is, keeping offenses guessing and thinking, and you don't see that as much anymore.
Well, I was coaching a girls basketball team once. We're in the playoffs, and we ran this 1-3-1 trap. We're really good at it. 3-quarter court, 1-3-1.
Ooh.
And we would spring it on teams. So we'd late first quarter, second quarter. And we ended up losing the game by 3 points. And if we'd done it the whole game, we probably would have won. But I was waiting. So we were going to spring it on them.
Oh, dude.
Claw. When I say claw, I was like, here we go, 1-3-1. And if we'd done it the whole game, we might have won.
Probably would have got some more steals and turnovers and everything. Great job, coach.
That's basketball. Yeah. So I don't know what the Kings do defensively. But as you said, it's amazing they've played so well defensively the last 2 games without Keegan.
Yeah, but I'm worried about that tonight, Whitey. Remember, last time we played Denver without Keegan, Aaron Gordon in this building.
Oh, yeah.
Abused us.
They even put Jay Crowder on.
Right. Who are we starting on Aaron Gordon tonight?
Trey?
That's a good call right there. Yep. Trey's going to get the start tonight again. That's a little more,
that's not as blatant of a mismatch,
yeah.
At least at first blush.
Because he started Doug that game, right? McDermott?
Yeah, I think so.
Right, I think so. And he got abused, and DeMar got abused. It wasn't a fair fight out there. Starting Trey, I'm okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're in a much better position to handle that right now.
The one guy in the Nuggets, and I know they have better players, but Christian Brown kind of scares me. He's a really good 3-point shooter.
Yeah, I think he's averaged 18 points in the 3 games against us this season so far. And so when you look at Denver in their offense, especially without Jamal Murray, Jokic is going to do his thing. But the guy that, to your point, would scare me is Christian Brown. Gordon will get some points and everything like that. But if Christian Brown gets going, then we're in some trouble, I think. We got to limit him tonight.
Yeah. Big game for both teams tonight, as it should be. When we come back, some good news after one of the scariest basketball falls and injuries you'll ever see with the Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
Springfest at Lowe's means can't miss savings for your home and lawn. Right now, buy 3 bags, get 3 free on Miracle Grow 3/4 cubic foot all-purpose garden soil. Plus, buy 2, get 1 free on select exterior paint and stain via mail-in rebate. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 4/16, excludes Alaska and Hawaii. While supplies last, selection varies by location. See rebate form for complete list of eligible products. Offer excludes clearance and mist tints and can't be combined with any other offer, promotion, discount, or coupon.
Keeping your engines healthy means protecting them in season and out. Experts trust Stable to do that, and third-party testing confirms it. Stable is the industry leader in preventing fuel-related issues, no matter if you use it in your car, boat, or outdoor power equipment. In season or out, at every fill-up or when you store, start with Stable.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
It's Carmichael Dave talking to you about my good friends at American Energy. You're in the Sacramento area. You know how the seasons work. They are a-changing right now. So American Energy wants to help you stay warm for the rest of the cold season, but help you stay cool during the warm season. Best way to do that, make sure your system is operating safely. So right now is the time to take advantage of half off a tune-up, $24.50. They cut that right in half, and if you want a diagnostic, guess what? You can't beat free. If it's free, it's me, and now it can be you. And also, it's the end of the season blowout. $4,000 off a new system plus any rebates. That $4,000, that's a direct drop from the sticker price. It's a great deal. Check them out at theaeway.com or an instant quote, or give them a call at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990. Tell them your good buddy Carmichael Dave sent you.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Get ready for a night of legendary rock and roll. Styx and Kevin Cronin live in concert Saturday, April 26th at the Nugget Event Center in Sparks, Nevada. Don't miss your chance to see the iconic sounds of Styx with Kevin Cronin on stage, bringing you all the hits. It's a night you won't forget. Tickets on sale now at NuggetCasinoResort.com, so grab yours before they're gone. Styx and Kevin Cronin live Saturday, April 26th. More info and tickets at NuggetCasinoResort.com.
Hey, what's up, Sacramento? It's Kyle Draper. Turn up the cleanliness at your restaurant, healthcare, or industrial business with Alsco Uniforms, the official sponsor of the Sacramento Kings Mop Crew. We've got you covered with crisp uniforms, hygienically clean linens, floor mats, and, of course, mops delivered weekly. But that's not all. Alsco Uniforms also offers weekly services for first aid and restroom supplies. Discover why it pays to keep clean with Alsco Uniforms. Just go to alsco.com to learn more. Again, that's ALSCO.com.
Spring is here, and summer's just around the corner. Is your child's smile ready to shine? Kids Care Dental and Orthodontics offers expert care for checkups, braces, and more. Schedule online at kidscaredental.com. That's kidscaredental.com. Bright smiles are just a click away.
Only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
Drapes, did you happen to see the horrific fall that Jaylen Wells took last night in the Grizzlies game?
Yeah, I did. I only saw it once. I couldn't even watch the replays. It was so horrific, man.
Yeah, he was taken off on a stretcher after a flagrant foul, according to Yahoo, caused him to land hard on his back during a dunk. Taken to the hospital, is determined he broke his wrist. He's been released from the hospital, but will miss an extended period due to the injury where he went up and was undercut, I think, by Simpson, and I don't think it was intentional. But then it just, hanging on the rim and then falling basically a little bit backwards, past vertical, hitting his head. There was some blood, but looks like he's going to be okay.
Yeah, and he had to be taken out on a stretcher and airlifted to the hospital, I think I read, if I'm correct.
If so, I think, obviously, because we're so wanted to be exercise an abundance of caution with
and it was just a broken
injury.
wrist.
Yeah,
which is, you hate to see it, but could have been so much more worse.
Yeah,
for the local kid.
Yeah, you're right. He was fell hard on the front of his head. Medical staff rushed in to help him, and they evacuated him. But and KJ Simpson was upgraded to a flagrant penalty 2, ejected from the game, but he felt horrible.
Yeah, that was a dangerous play, man.
Yeah.
And you could tell immediately he went, over to Jaylen Wells, and that's just dangerous right there. And sending all our thoughts to Jaylen Wells and his family, because he was having a great rookie, a great campaign.
Yeah.
He was a big part of what they were doing out there in Memphis.
Yeah, it was kind of a reckless, maybe not trying to hurt anybody, but reckless play.
Right. That stuff start fights too. Like people, that kind of play, some teammates might come and have something to say to you. And so, it was scary, man. It was scary to see.
I remember a game in, it was in Oakland, I think.
Yeah.
Or was it here? And Vince Carter inadvertently did that to Patrick McCaw
Really?
Of the Warriors. And Steve Kerr went nuts.
Wow.
He was like, he knows better. Vince, you know better.
Oh, shoot.
Vince Carter felt terrible.
Yeah.
Obviously Vince Carter. But I think McCaw ended up being okay.
Yeah.
But that's those are the most dangerous falls in basketball. It happened, but we're just glad that Jaylen Wells from Sacramento apparently is doing okay.
Sacktown. Yep. He's doing all right. And does Vince Carter fit on our list of obscure Kings or no?
What do you think, Jay?
It's Vince Carter.
It's Vince Carter.
What?
It's not
only here
random.
for a cup of tea. He
It's
didn't
not-
get a
he's
full
a
cup
Hall of
coffee
Famer.
here.
It's Vince Carter.
Not for what he did here in Sac, though. I'm just saying.
No, that don't count. That don't count.
All right, just try to see. Maybe we should do that. All-time single season Sacramento Kings. Top 10 single
Who only
season.
here 1 year?
1 year.
Huh.
1 year.
That's tough. I
That's
like
tough,
that
right?
because it's tough.
It is, right? Narrow it down. Because you got to have an
Jim
impact
Jackson.
too, right?
I don't know. Yeah, Jim Jackson, Catino Mobley. I
Cat
don't know. how long they were
Mobley.
here.
How long was Rondo here? 2 or 1? Jay,
One. I think he was here
I want
one.
to say 1 too.
Led the,
Yeah,
and I
he
think
might have one of the most impactful single seasons in
in a
Kings
lot of
history.
ways.
Yeah.
Yes,
In
yes.
a lot of ways.
Yeah. Sometimes people say, I wonder if the team's given up. Do they want to get rid of the coach? And I say, we've seen that before.
Right.
And this isn't that.
Right. Compared to with that one.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah. But so that's what you want to work on.
Yeah, I got to work on that. We
One
got a lot
year.
of time this offseason. Man. We got a lot of time.
I know, but we still got so much pizza left in the box here with the rest of this season. It's just getting to the best part, hopefully.
Yeah,
it should be the payoff for fans who've been through all of this turmoil. Now, hopefully, some payoff here.
Are you in the camp of as Jerry Reynolds? You need to see more from this team before you believe in it. And
but to me, it's just a little bit of progress that now I think more people are looking at it going, maybe, because a few weeks ago, it's like, nope. After that Wizards loss, nah, it ain't here.
Right. And after the Pistons win and the Cavs win, I thought to myself, this crowd might be electric tonight when we come back home, and the squad takes the floor. And so it'll be interesting, based on what we're hearing about A's attendance today, 10,000 plus. Remember, they had the 2-for-1 deal, you're 2 for $60 or whatever. You get both games.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that's today. Day game out at
I think that was just
A's.
lawn seats. But
Lawn seats and then upper level. But I'm saying it could be a jam-packed crowd out here tonight, too.
Yes.
For this game.
Yeah, and they had more than 10,000 out there today. Curtis, the guy that sold me the tickets a couple nights ago, he was out there. He said, really good crowd. It's been great weather. The A's came up short today, 2-1.
Yeah.
Looks like maybe the numbers are ticking up. I was comparing the A's attendance numbers today, and I know some people get kind of numb to all this right now because it's been so overwrought. But you also have the Tampa Bay Rays that are playing in a minor league park.
Yeah. How are they doing?
Yeah. So I looked and they're like 10-0-4-6. And I thought, that's not great, but that's okay. Then I looked at their next game, 10-0-4-6. Every game, because that's capacity. They're selling out every game. 10-0-4-6.
Are they selling out or are they
without being there? It's hard to know.
Is that paid attendance or just attendance? Like, did they sell all the tickets, but people all didn't show
There's
up?
no way of knowing. Yeah, it's a fair point.
And what's the A's announcement? Is it announced attendance? Those in actual attendance?
I think it is. Yeah. It's not tickets sold, but I'm not sure. But today was, like I say, 10 something. And I thought there were more people there last night than the night before. The numbers say no, but last couple nights were 9,000 plus. So 10 today. So maybe as the weather gets warmer, I don't know. Maybe the numbers pick up. My thing is, I don't think it's accurate to blame Sacramento and say, "Oh, Sacramento looks bad here."
Right.
They want a team. They have to sell out these games. I don't think that's Sacramento's concern.
I agree with you. And
have a good time, go to the game, and if it sells out or not, that's not our problem.
Right. And here we are, still worried about attendance numbers, and media members are saying 10,000 a day, 9,000. It doesn't matter really, unless it's like 2,000, or 14, 15,000 every game. Like 9 or 10,000 is pretty solid, as far as I'm concerned. That's a good number. And And the thing too about it, Whitey, and I'll pose this question to you: is it troublesome that the organization, and we'll have Damon Amendolara on in about an hour or so, troublesome that the organization is using gimmicks to sell tickets, pairing it with the Kings tonight, lawn seat and upper, 2 for $25 or whatever it is. Like this early in the season, is it troubling that they're doing it?
It's not, to me, it's not troubling, but it's a little surprising. Like last night, we sat behind home plate, my daughter and I, and she'd gotten the tickets, and she realized, she got them as soon as they were available.
Yeah.
Like, we got to go to those games. She bought the tickets. Then she was, looking at it last night going, oh, man, if I'd have waited, I wouldn't have had to pay as much for the tickets.
Really? So the tickets
So
are cheaper, huh?
The demand is not what a lot of people thought it would be. Is that troubling? Is that, oh, no, this is awful? No, but it's just, I'm a little surprised by it.
Okay.
You know?
Okay. All right. I was actually invited to today's game. Somebody hit me up. Drapes, you want to come on out? Got a ticket for you. Said, nope. Got to
How about that?
hang with Whitey and Jay
How
and
about
do this
that?
damn show. So,
Yeah.
you never call me street clothes, big fella. If I can be here, I'm going to be here. I'm going to be here.
I've, full disclosure, I thought about attending the ball game at the Yard this afternoon myself.
You thought about it too?
But
Imagine
no.
if we both at the same time.
We've got a job to do. RJ should have set you and I up out at the.
I know. We could have did the show out there and then came over here. That's true. We could have did half the show out there and then the other half here. How about that?
Yes. Yeah.
Uh-oh. We got a call? JR
joining us here on Sacramento.
He's on the line? All right.
Hello, JR. What's up?
I was at the game.
How was it, man? What did you tell us?
Today or last night?
It was the other day. We just finished up, know. Padres cheated, of course.
Sure.
There was at least 50,000 people there. 40,000 were Giants fans. So that was good.
Sure. Where did you sit?
I was sat kind of, I think, where you sat, like right, a little bit to the left behind home plate. About 20 rows up.
Okay.
And they weren't too bad. I think we got them for 58. I got them for a few of my customers. So there's about 6 of us. But God, it was beautiful. It was 75 game first pitch. Just a beautiful day out there. Okay. Padres, of course, cheated with some illegal players. I think they shouldn't be playing. They shouldn't be in the place they are in the NL West. Of course, the Giants were. When I turned it on, is it 6-5 still? What's the final on the Giants? It was 6-5 when we were walking out.
It was 6-6 in the 10th last I saw. So
there we go. Verlander did not have a good third inning.
Did you notice? I know we always kid about the Padres, but there were when I was there last 2 nights, a ton of San Diego fans there.
Oh,
was that the way it was today?
I hate to say it. Yeah, there was tons of freaking Padres fans. Yeah. With no respect for the game, no knowledge, the inability to understand that 3 championships in the last 15 years belong to the Giants, not the Padres. Do you want me to go any farther, Drace? What do you want me to do here? Posey's now the manager, bringing back and it is a dynasty. If you win 3 in 5 years, that's a dynasty. Don't give me the breakup years, Whitey. You win it and you're in it. That's it.
Yeah.
Are you coming out to
the?
Yes. Yeah. Might as well. I'm already down here. I might as well just drive across the bridge and use my Golden One tickets and go in. You know what? Denver's a mess. I can't believe are you guys crazy? I can't believe they fired Malone. I just don't even get that. That is mind-boggling. I mean, that is, I'm telling you, flabbergasting, whatever you want to call that, but that is crazy.
Thank you.
Love you guys.
JR. Good to hear from you.
Hey,
all right, man.
Good call tonight, brother. Bye.
All right, baby. Thank you.
Yeah. Steve Kerr had some interesting thoughts on what exactly is going on. We'll look at that when we come back. Also, would you have made this Kings deal for Luka? Did you see what Bobby Marks did?
No, I didn't see that.
He put together a trade that every team could have made for Luka if every team had a shot. So we'll see what he cooked up for the Kings when we come back to the Gold One Center on Sacktown Sports.
At Valley Strong Credit Union, we know that local businesses are the backbone of the Central Valley, investing in our neighborhoods, boosting the economy, making the Valley stronger. But when it comes to their finances, where can they turn? A big bank that just sees another number? That's not good enough. Valley businesses deserve Valley support for payroll, credit, cash flow, and everything in between.
Valley Business is Valley Strong. Learn how our cash management services can support your business at valleystrong.com.
Spring is in the air, and there's really nothing better than hitting the open road in a new Honda. Whether you're shopping for new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings. Plus, get top dollar for your trade. And while life's roads are often filled with bumps, buying from Stockton Honda couldn't be smoother. Wherever the road you travel might lead, Stockton Honda is happy to get you there. Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Comcast Business, powering possibilities. Well, there's nothing more exciting for a team than to see the potential of a number one pick come to fruition. Now, we know it's early, it's just after 11 games, but Tyler Soderstrom from Turlock High was number 3 in the American League in batting at .381 and tied for first in homers with 6. And Jacob Wilson, number 4 in batting at .366. Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business with reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solution, and Wi-Fi backup. Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. For details on special offers, including free professional installation and up to a $500 Visa prepaid card on qualifying internet bundles, log on to business.comcast.com. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Power Business Technology is proud to be a 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer since 2021. Contact us today for all your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Whether you're shaping up a small yard or tackling serious acreage, Steel walk-behind zero-turn and stand-on mowers are built to get the job done. Shop online or at your local Steel dealer. Steel, let's go mow. Available at participating dealers.
Go from daydreamer to industry leader with Amazon Business. From office supplies to IT essentials, Amazon Business provides tools that help you save costs and make insight-based decisions. Learn how to bring your visions to life at AmazonBusiness.com.
Harbor Freight knows time is money. So for our Spring Black Friday sale, we're getting straight to the deals. This weekend, you get 35% off jack stands, 56-inch roll cabs under $800, and 2,300 PSI electric pressure washers under $190. See? Straight to the point. So you can get straight to the savings. Whatever you do, do it for less at Harbor Freight. Valid until April 13th, 2025 while supplies last. Limitations apply.
Are you ready to unlock your business's potential? Hey, I'm Alan Stiles, and you can do that with Roxas Technology Solutions. Their mission is to empower growth through cutting-edge, reliable, and scalable technology. They tailor solutions to enhance efficiency and foster innovation, ensuring your business thrives in the digital age. Located in Sacramento, their dedicated team is ready to partner with you for your long-term success. Transform your business now. Go to roxtech.com. That's WROXTECH.com. Rox Tech. Tomorrow's technology at your fingertips today.
The wait is over. Rivercats baseball is back. Whether you're cheering on your team with friends or enjoying a fun night out with the family, Sutter Health Park is the place to be. With exciting giveaways, great food, and plenty of entertainment, join us for another year of Rivercats memories all season long. Don't miss the first games of 2025. Grab your tickets today at rivercats.com.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
Just wanted to update the score because we were talking to JR about the Giants. Giants scored 1 in the 8th, 2 in the 10th, and beat the Reds today.
Ooh, how about the
6?
Giants? Okay.
Yeah, they had not scored in the last 2 games. They were losing, I think, 5-0 today. Came back and won it.
Big win for them. Big win.
Okay. Did you see their new City Connects that they wore last night?
Yeah, I didn't see them. I saw somebody post about it. I didn't really get a good look at them. Are they that bad?
I don't think they're great. They are pretty much what we were talking about when we were in Stockton. Remember, we had something that we thought was the leaked uniform.
Yeah.
That was pretty much what it was. And it's like a tribute to San Francisco's music history. And, I've gotten to the point now where it's just like, it does nothing for me. I think they're pretty bad, but it doesn't matter.
It doesn't, right?
Whatever.
Well, yeah. Why do you think people get so upset over these kind of things?
I think some people, especially older people like myself, you tend to feel that the tradition of a uniform and the colors are more important. So then you have the you have the Giants wearing purple now.
Yeah,
with these new City Connect, and they're like, well, when they were in New York in 1915, they wore purple. Or it's like, so what?
What about Sacramento Kings blue?
That's a little different because it is part of the team history. If you go back to 1912, if no one remembers, it isn't really part of the team's history. So some of it just seems a little like they're trying too hard.
Do they got to wear home whites in the NBA? Would you like them to go back to that?
I would prefer that if I had a choice, but it's okay. I'm not, it's all right. I'll be honest with you, Dre. When we were first talking about putting patches on the uniforms, it's awful. It's terrible. And then, we'd have like soccer fans call us up and say, they do it in soccer. It's not that big a deal. And they were right.
You don't notice anything, right? Yeah. Exactly. Hey, real quick, we just saw the Sacramento Kings dance team warm up. I got to give them some love here. They are in the semifinals of the Hardwood Dancers best dance team in the NBA.
Semifinals?
Yeah, the semifinals.
Let's go, Sacramento.
And guess what, Whitey? Here are the teams. Brooklyn, Miami, Sacramento, and Golden State.
Oh,
who do you think we're versing? We're going against?
Probably the Warriors.
Yes, exactly.
Is this at NBA.com or?
Nah, Hardwood Dancers on their YouTube or Instagram page. I don't know if it's something that's league sanctioned or what. But somebody just forwarded it to me and said, "Can you give the Kings Dancers some loves?" So it's Kings Dancers against Golden State Dance Team in the West, and then Miami and Brooklyn in the East. So I think today might be the last day too. So
Sacramento will take y'all.
Yeah. Right. Go give them some love out there. How about that?
Any chance to beat the Warriors?
Right. Beat them in anything, It's
gotta
have bragging rights. Right. Exactly. So go check it out.
Speaking of the Warriors, Steve Kerr was asked about the Michael Malone firing yesterday. All coaches were. He had some interesting things to say because we're all wondering what's going on. Steve Kerr had some thoughts on that. I don't know if he's right, but he had some interesting thoughts. He said, I think one thing that's happened is most teams are now owned by billionaires, big corporations. So we're all more expendable. There's so much money in the business now, and there's pluses and minuses to that. We're all making bigger salaries than we were 5 years ago, but we're all much more vulnerable because I don't think a lot of owners are that concerned with firing a guy and paying them off to go away. Right. Again, this is a business we choose and we all love it, but it's not the most stable profession. That's for sure. And he said, we're all going to all coaches end up that way. And he said, I'm just enjoying it as I can, but I don't know if he's right, but I hadn't thought of that.
Yeah. I mean, you think about, I got a friend who's in Detroit right now and attending a conference where Matt Ishbia, the Phoenix Suns owner, is speaking. And there's a good chance he's going to fire Mike Budenholzer. He might have like 3 coaches on the payroll that aren't even working for him anymore.
Right.
And so 10 million, 20 million, 30 million, that's nothing to these guys right now, And so it's there's so much money involved, so much money from the ownership level and a lot of these guys too, let's call it what it is. Like, especially some of these young owners, it's all about right now, immediacy. There's no, let me give you 5 years to build something out, build a culture. I'm paying all this money. I need to see results immediately.
I'll tell you what, Drapes, given what's going on in the NBA these days, this week, your team, the team you work for, they're ahead of the game. Firing coaches here, firing coaches there. Now everybody does that. The Kings did it. Like, what are they doing?
Is what you said. You're ahead of the curve.
Kings did it first.
I'm not going there, man. I'm not going there. But that goes to show you, Whitey, because the Kings fired a coach that was 13-18. Memphis and Denver firing coaches that are 10, 15 games above 500.
Right.
How crazy is that?
I'm not quite sure how to explain it.
And think about it. Mike Brown was coach of the year. Michael Malone won the damn championship.
Yeah. Right.
You can't get much better resume than what Michael Malone has had the last 2 years.
Yeah, people have pointed out, we talked about it yesterday, since 2019, Steve Kerr's the only coach that won the finals who's still around. But you could take that back all the way back to since 2015. Steve Kerr is the only coach who's won a championship since 2015 who is still with the team that he won the championship with.
With an asterisk, I'm going to include Joe Mazzulla on that with the Celtics. He's still there too.
That's true.
Yeah,
you're right.
So,
I did forget.
Joe Mazzulla. So, but those are the only two.
Those are the only two. Yeah.
I mean, Nick Nurse, he changed teams. Budenholzer. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's. I mean, and it's a well-paid profession. And I'm not sure Mike Malone's contract or anything or how much he had left. But case in point, Mike Brown. I'm not feeling too bad. Like, if you're going to write me a $20 to $25 million check to roll out.
There has to be something more to it, though, doesn't there? And I know it's easy to say. The Memphis thing, I still don't even know how they explained it. Did they even explain it? Just like, we want to go in another direction.
No, I don't know if they did.
I don't know what their official explanation is.
Yeah, some of their beat writers behind the scenes are sticking up for the organization, saying, the offense, became predictable and stuff like that. But it just didn't make the thing we do know. Those two guys will find jobs really quickly.
Sure.
Like those are two really good coaches.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Here's getting back to Luka, because Luka returns tonight to Dallas. It's going to be an emotional night. That's game one of the doubleheader, right? ESPN doubleheader. You got Dallas
and then us.
Then you got So, not sure why, but Bobby Marks, who's been in NBA front offices, he put together a potential deal for every NBA team. Apparently, the Lakers were the only team that had a shot at Luka. So he said, what if everybody had a shot? He says this would have been the deal for the Kings to get Luka. Mavericks receive Domantas Sabonis, Keon Ellis, Devin Carter, 2028 unprotected first-round pick, 2030 unprotected first-round pick. Would you have done that for Luka?
Say that one more time.
Yeah, and again, he's not saying they discussed this. This is all hypothetical. Yeah. He's making this up. So Luka to the Kings in exchange for Domas, Keon, Devin Carter, 2028 unprotected first-round pick, 2030 unprotected first-round pick. And he also points out that was before De'Aaron Fox was traded.
Right. So you'd still have
Fox.
You'd
have De'Aaron Fox, but you'd also have the potential of Fox leaving next year and Luka leaving the year after that if you did that trade.
I don't know.
To me, that's too much to give up for one guy.
But even if Luka. It's Luka.
Yeah. I know.
How about this? What if you told me it was De'Aaron Fox instead of Sabonis?
Right.
Then I'm doing that.
Yeah.
I'm probably doing that. Because now you still got your big, you got Luka, but Luka and De'Aaron Fox and then no bigs basically. Yeah. That's where I thought, who was it? Hollinger that came up with that?
This was Bobby Marks.
Bobby Marks. That's where I thought he was going to go. Like, if you trade Sabonis, Luka, I thought De'Aaron Fox would be the guy that would be out, basically swapping them, and then you add some sweeteners to it. But getting rid of Domas, and we wouldn't have any bigs in.
Right. That, not that the Kings would have done it, but that might have been a better package for the Mavs than what they got. Not slight Anthony Davis.
AD, I'm not slighting AD, man. AD's a beast.
He is.
He's a beast. What the problem with Dallas did, though, they didn't get enough draft capital in return. If you get AD, Max Christie, and 3 first-rounders or something unprotected first,
you're set.
It
now,
looks
you're
better.
Set in the
Right.
future.
It looks better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can sit back and relax a little bit. When we come back, why are there so many unhappy teams in the NBA West? What's going on next? Sacktown Sports.
Get one free set of brake pads when you buy 2 brake rotors. Visit O'Reilly Auto Parts. Offer in-store only. Restrictions apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. 800-902-5454. 800-902-5454.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time and skip the regular line at the airport and pay for speedy security. Imagine not having to quickly unpack and pack at the place you already came packed to. And wearing your shoes the whole time you're there? You can't put a price on that kind of luxury. Well, actually you can, and you paid for it. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time for speedy security. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
Alan Stiles here with your Sacktown Sports Injury Update, brought to you by Downtown LA Law Group. After Tommy John surgery in May 2024, Ken Waldachuk began a bullpen progression on March 4th. He continued to throw off the mound and remains in line for a potential return to the major leagues around June. Zach Geloff got his cast removed from his hand fracture and has started light workouts. A 4 to 6 week timeline is about the standard for such injuries, but Zach Geloff hopes to be back sooner. On the court, Devin Carter has been listed as day-to-day with a shoulder contusion and will be listed as questionable for the time being. This injury report was brought to you by Downtown LA Law Group. Hi, I'm Alan Stiles. Injured at work? Call Downtown. Downtown LA Law Group, California's leading injury law firm. With over 40 lawyers throughout California, they've won over $500 million in settlements. Downtown LA Law Group will get you compensation for your work injury. You don't pay unless they win. That's right. You pay zero up front. Call Downtown. Text injury help to 40222. That's injury help to 40222. Visit them at calldowntown.com.
Save $12,000 off MSRP on new 2025 Silverado 1500 LT at the Maida Chevy Silverado Supercenter after all rebates. And Maida Chevy still has one of the largest selections in the Sacramento area with $12,000 off new Silverado exclusively at the Maida Chevy Silverado Supercenter. Now that's big, huge. See them all at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
5 savings was trade in 2011 or newer. Not available with special financing, lease, and some other offers.
Made a great deal at Maida.
If you've got a gas-powered engine, keep it running like new at every fill-up. Stable in-season protection is your engine's preventative medicine, cleaning and protecting the entire fuel system in season. In outdoor power equipment, prevent gum and varnish buildup that could cause a rough or non-running engine. For cars and trucks, increase fuel efficiency and power by removing deposits, ensuring your engine's long-term health. Stable outperforms the competition in independent lab testing. So at every fill-up, start with Stable.
Barbecue season is back. Hey, it's Ellen. And this is Sarah Beth. And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich is that zesty barbecue sauce. I love that it was a little sweet, a little tangy, and with the mac and cheese.
I feel like I tasted the brown sugar bacon first. It was the absolute best combination. Pro tip, 3 sandwiches are always better than 1.
Order the Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich and a Coca-Cola on the Chick-fil-A app for a limited time. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
At SMUD, we power local business with incentives on clean energy equipment, tools to manage electricity usage and save money, tailored solutions from dedicated strategic account advisors, and 50% lower rates than neighboring utilities, all while doing more for the planet with clean energy solutions, savings, reliability, personalized service, clean energy. Helping local businesses thrive. That's our clean power promise. Learn more at smud.org.
49ers are on the clock. Don't miss Sacktown Sports coverage of the upcoming draft, brought to you by Twin Peaks, the ultimate sports lodge. No one covers pro football like Sacktown Sports, and there's no place better to enjoy it than with over 80 screens at Twin Peaks and their ice-chilled 29-degree drafts at the 5 p.m. happy hour kickoff. Spring is here, and summer's just around the corner. Is your child's smile ready to shine? Kids Care Dental and Orthodontics offers expert care for checkups, braces, and more. Schedule online at kidscaredental.com. That's kidscaredental.com. Bright smiles are just a click away.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacktown Sports 1140.
Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
Kings and Nuggets tonight at 7, and the only superstar from either team who's already out on the floor, Drapes, is
Russell Westbrook.
How about that?
Get some early work in.
Yeah, he just got out there, and he's knocking down those mid-range jumpers. It's amazing. I know we've talked about this before. When you get to see an NBA player just with no defense, just out there working on their shots, especially the mid-range. These guys are deadly.
Automatic, right?
Yeah, it really are.
It's hard to,
even him
put into words, because then you think, I don't know how you feel about this. I've played pickup ball with just really good basketball players, and they've killed the games, but they couldn't touch NBA players. You know what I mean?
Oh,
can you imagine, the worst NBA player in the league would dominate every pickup run out here. It's just amazing how good these guys are.
Yeah. It's like the guys that are big stars in college, and then they go in the NBA and they become basically bench guys into the bench guys.
Right.
It's like your buddy Scal proving his point.
Yes.
At the, where was that?
In New York.
Was that Rucker Park?
Was it Rucker or
I don't know, around somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. And he's hasn't played in 10 years almost, or whatever it's been, and he still gives work out there. These guys are truly amazing, man. What people don't understand real quick, Whitey, is how strong and physical they are. There's video out there floating around of me taking a charge from Scal.
Oh, I've seen that.
When he hit me,
sometimes I just watch that over and over and over.
Dude, it was the hardest I've ever been hit in my life. But this is what they do night in and night out. Domantas Sabonis, the banging he takes. Can you imagine having to go through that night in and night out? It's truly amazing, man.
We have this from Mojo916 in the Chateau. Surprised you guys haven't mentioned Terrence Davis becoming a King again. Well, we mentioned it yesterday.
Right, we talked about it yesterday, and he's on my list, my game boards for tonight. And so he actually posted something too, just that, happy to be back kind of thing, like the praying hands emoji, I think it was, or something. And so, if he gets in tonight, dude, that would be huge, man. He might get a standing ovation.
I heard Alan today mention that Terrence Davis is a Monty favorite. I didn't know that. That would
really
maybe partly explain why they signed him, but also, one of my things on the Kings is they need more shooting. So Terrence Davis, I'm down with that.
What took so long? I know he's coming from the injury,
right?
Coming from the Achilles injury that he had, but no, I don't know why we let him go in the front. It's interesting. I wonder if he's a Monty guy, but not necessarily a Mike Brown guy. Is that where you're going? Is that where you're going with that?
Interesting theory. I don't know. How would I know that?
Oh, man. Oh, shoot. And Family Slagle says the coach that TD worked with in Sacramento is gone. But it may be a good thing for TD.
Yeah, it's just interesting to see teams not only firing coaches, but bringing in players this late in the process. So we glance at the Western Conference standings. This stands out to me, Drapes, and to me it just is another example of how competitive the conference is. How many teams right now do you think are disappointed with things? OKC thrilled. Houston, they're very happy. Lakers feeling pretty good. Clippers probably right now rising to fourth. They're feeling good. Denver's got to be very disappointed, even though they're fifth. The Warriors are pretty happy.
They're happy.
Memphis is, what's going on? Minnesota, is very disappointed after the year they had last year. They just suffered a tough loss. We know the Kings have been disappointing, and they're still trying to salvage some here. Dallas has been a massive disappointment. Phoenix is possibly the biggest disappointment in the history of the league. San Antonio and New Orleans also very disappointed. And the thing is, it's so competitive. Obviously only one team can win, but it's so hyper competitive that I think a lot of teams just came up short this year because they didn't quite measure up to the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Houston Rockets.
Yeah. And you look at the way OKC has dominated.
Yes.
It's like they've run away with it. But, conversely, who's had a good year? Who's happy? OKC, Houston, LA. I would say the Clippers.
I think so.
Golden State?
Yeah, I think so right now.
And Portland, probably. Like Portland at 35 and 44, even though they're not in, considering where they were a season ago, they probably think, all right, we're on the right track.
Utah's probably happy too.
Yeah, Utah's like Danny Ainge.
Mission accomplished.
Every loss, he's toasted
16
champagne,
and 63.
Right? Damn, Whitey, 63 losses. You know how bad you got to be?
I know.
Jeez.
And every year I keep thinking he's going to go for it.
Yeah.
Nope.
What's interesting about these standings, and we said it earlier, Memphis has the same exact record as the Clippers.
Yeah.
But one team is feeling good, the other isn't. Like 47-32 is not bad. It all comes back to expectations, Whitey.
Mm-hmm.
With the Sacramento Kings last season, this season, the expectations were so high. 46 wins. If we had 46 wins right now, we'd be right in the mix with Minnesota and, everything like that. We'd probably feel a little bit differently. But because our expectations were so high, and of course, only 39 wins, but 3 years ago, we would have loved to be in the play-in where we are right now.
About a year ago, it was easy to go back over the Kings schedule and cherry pick 4 or 5 games easily where we would all agree, they should have won those games.
Yeah.
How many right now, honestly? And I know it's one way. There's also games you win that you probably shouldn't. And if you're a fan of the team, you never count that. But
both Bostons, one Boston, 2 Clevelands. Usually you're not supposed to win those games.
Yeah.
Right?
But how many games can you think of? The Detroit game comes to mind, the Clipper game.
Washington last week.
Yeah.
Even that Indiana game, they probably should have won that game. Remember, they were up most of the game and then collapsed there at the end. I'd probably say 5 or 6.
Yeah, that really wouldn't help you that much. You'd be with 6, you'd have 45 wins. You'd be battling Minnesota for that 8th. But it is just tough this year, as it is every year in the West. But Oklahoma City at 65-14. There are some numbers that indicate they're having one of the greatest regular seasons of any team ever.
Even better than the Bulls.
Yeah.
The Warriors of yesteryear as well. And, this season to me reminds me a lot more like the Beam Team season, where 48 wins. You look at what the Lakers are at right now, 3rd seed. But I feel like the teams are stronger now than a couple of years ago. Like it's a deeper conference. Like,
yes,
when the Beam Team year, no offense to Golden State, but even though they beat us, I don't think anybody thought they were like, you look at the West right now, Whitey, you got OKC in their own tier. I'll give them that. But 2 through 8, I wouldn't be surprised if any of those teams made the Western Conference Finals at least.
Yeah. Yeah. And to that point, I know a lot of us have been saying, if the Kings, they play Dallas, they win, maybe they end up with Memphis, and Memphis is falling apart. Well, Memphis has won 3 straight.
Damn, have they?
Yes. The Grizzlies are knocking on the Warriors' door for the 6th spot, knocking on Denver's door for the 5th spot, and also the Clippers. They have won 3 straight games, so they're responding to your guy, Tuomas Isalo.
Well, you're proud of yourself for that. Remembering that.
Not sure that's right. It's close. It's not right. It's very close.
Ask me who the Memphis coach is.
What's the name of the Memphis coach?
I don't know. I couldn't even repeat.
I just said it.
I don't. Dude, they're not on our schedule anymore. They're not on our schedule anymore. So I'm done with Memphis. Other than maybe the play-in, I'll know it by next week. That's for sure if we have to play them. But yeah, it's all about expectations and the way you view things.
Minnesota's got to be disappointed.
Yeah, but here's the thing: and somebody said this. And I don't know if you saw Minnesota, that collapse they had last night.
I heard about it, yeah.
If they would have won that game, they would have been in 4th place. So think about it. They're not feeling good. But if they would have won last night, they might be feeling great. We're in 4th. Like, that's how crazy it is. One game could change everything for a team. All about perspective,
We're going to take a quick timeout. When we come back, should officials show more restraint? Should fans show more restraint, or should Luka just shut his pie hole? Next to the Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
Stay up to date on Sacramento sports. Join the Sacktown Sports 1140 newsletter. Visit sacktownsports.com.
It's the final days of the spring sales event. Drive home your new Honda before the deals and the new Hondas disappear. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? During the spring sales event, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at folsomlakehonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Capital Casino, conveniently located on 411th North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
With 25 award-winning years in Northern California, Ashton & Price is your local injury law firm.
Pro attorney tip: if a firm presents as local, but they're in LA, red flag. If your first consultation is not with a lawyer, big red flag. At Ashton & Price, your first consult is with a local attorney, and if serious injury prevents travel, a lawyer will come to you. Still not enough? George Washington's my uncle. At Ashton & Price, no red flags, just red, white, and blue.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
The Napoleon Stainless Steel Prestige 500 connected propane grill with infrared side and rear burner is a dynamic evolution in grilling. Featuring Wi-Fi and Bluetooth connectivity, it brings you closer to your grilling experience than ever before. The Napoleon Connected lets you monitor temperatures, set timers, and receive high temp warnings all from your smartphone. With temperature probes and LCD display, you'll always know exactly what's happening inside your grill. Napoleon's LED control knobs even illuminate for nighttime, entertaining, and feature safety glow. Napoleon Grills, simply the best.
West Side.
The world is mine, near get back. Don't mess with my
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
Kyle Draper has some news for us on Malik Monk. It's not great news.
Why are you doing that, man? Why are you giving me all the bad news? You know what I mean? If it was the Kings' favorites to win the championship, you would have said that. But
you're the voice of the Kings. You're the Kings guy. We should hear it from you.
All right, Jay just said.
When it breaks,
We have it first.
It's Sacktown Sports breaking news.
Dang, Jay, this got the breaking news stinger too? Shoot. According to Shams Charania, Sacramento Kings guard Malik Monk will be reevaluated in 2 weeks due to a left calf strain. The timetable sidelines Monk for the rest of regular season and play in games. Something we feared yesterday, right, fellas?
Yeah,
With
you
the
pointed this
signing
out.
of,
You're the first
Tate
one
TD.
to make that connection potentially.
This is massive. This hurts. Second straight year for Malik too. Because, and Jerry, made a great point. What happens when DeMar doesn't have it going? Zach doesn't have it going. Who can we turn to? Malik would be one of those guys, averaging a career high 17-plus points. And so now to be without him for the next 3 games in the play-in next week as well, this is a big loss for the Kings.
Yeah, if I'm, trying to find a glimmer of positivity out of this, and it's unfortunate. We all love just watching Malik play. But they have, as you pointed out, Jerry, they have played well the last few games without him.
Yeah. And I would imagine, more playmaking for DeMar, more playmaking for Domas, which necessarily isn't a bad thing. But I just, I hate to lose a guy that's sort of the heart and soul of the team, plays hard every night. It may not have the results, but Malik's energy and effort can never be questioned. And yeah, it's a tough one, man. It's tough to lose him for these next 4 games.
Yeah, and as you say, for the second year in a row, late season injury. I know I'd mentioned weeks ago that I was keeping an eye on his minutes. This is the most minutes he's ever played.
Right.
Is that why he got hurt? There's no way of knowing for sure.
Right.
Possible. It seems like it makes sense, but there's no way of knowing. As long as the offense is functioning at that high level that it's been functioning at, you're fine. But if you need something off the bench, be nice to have Malik there. And as you pointed out yesterday, maybe that's why Terrence Davis got the call after all.
Yeah, and I got to look at NBA rules. I don't know. TD's I don't think is eligible for the playoffs though, right?
I wouldn't think so. I'd have to double
This
check,
late
like
in
you
the
said.
game? Yeah. I gotta check it out. I thought March 1st was the deadline, or was that the deadline of if you sign somebody off that just was waived or something like that? I need to look into that. But
yeah, there are also rules about injury exceptions, things like that, but I don't know if that applies.
Yeah, it might be too late for that too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But the Kings got to soldier on. Like, does this mean more Devin Carter? Like, do we have to get more from him and see him? He played fantastic last game, and so he's going to be thrust into a bigger role, I would imagine.
More Devin Carter and perhaps a little more Markelle Fultz, although we haven't seen a lot of him in the last few games without Malik.
Yeah. Or will it be like Doug's been doing, playing your starters 40 minutes a night? Are we in the Tom Thibodeau phase of the season right now?
That seems to be the plan.
Yeah.
So that's very unfortunate once again for those who just who happened to miss it. Shams reporting that Malik Monk. I'm sorry? What was that, Jay?
No, my bad. I was telling you in your ear. You completely stopped. I was saying I had that information for you as far as deadlines on the players and things like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, please,
Yeah. So you are partially correct, or I should say you are correct, Drapes. Player eligibility waiver deadline is March 1st. Those are for the players who are waived by their team or by another team. Now, exceptions are players on a 10-day contract or free agents who sign a 10-day contract. After March 1st, they retain their playoff eligibility. So he's coming from the G League, so sounds like he is eligible.
Okay, there you, Jay, my man Johnny on the spot right there.
That's well done.
Appreciate that, Jay. That's good producing right there. So good. That's huge. Can you imagine TD having a big role for us in the play-in / playoffs?
I can imagine anything.
That would be, dude. That's like a movie right there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Returning here to Sac, where you've had all that glory, and then helping them into the playoffs.
Yeah, but once again, the news on Malik, he's going to be reevaluated in 2 weeks due to a left calf strain. Sources tell ESPN timetable sidelines him for the rest of the regular season and play-in games.
Man, I mean, here's the thing, though, and I'm saying how devastating it is, and it is, no doubt about it. But we are much more equipped now to handle this than we were a season ago. The guy I'm interested in seeing back is Jake LaRavia. That's who we need. Keegan Murray. Those are two guys I think we need. I think Keon's going to get some more minutes, obviously. Devin Carter's going to get some more minutes. Zach and DeMar going to have to go back to their Chicago days in terms of scoring the ball, which we've seen these last few games. How about Domas becoming more of a playmaker, getting back to Domas that we've seen in recent years? And so it's not an end of the world. I'm of the belief, Whitey, I'd like to have all the tools in my toolbox. You know, when you're without your hammer or your nails or your screwdriver,
tell me about it.
You can get through it. You can, but eventually you might need it. You might need that
Trying
one
to use
tool.
a butter knife for the screwdriver. You know.
Maybe you're too lazy to go into the garage or something, so you use a butter knife.
I don't know about that.
All right. Oh, that's for me. But seriously, there will come a point where maybe the starters don't have it going. Who can you turn to offensively to get going out there?
I think they could ride this out if, and you mentioned it, if Devin Carter can hold his own offensively, because he's not as good as Malik. Obviously, he's a better defender. So especially if you've got Zach and DeMar and Domas, and they're carrying an even heavier offensive load, if Devin can just, and he had the 7 points in a row,
7 points in a row. Yeah.
If he can just hold his own offensively, what he gives you defensively, I think you can weather that storm, especially if his playmaking continues to evolve. But you could end up in that situation where we just don't have enough shooting. We don't have enough offense. Where's Malik?
Yeah. And, and this is also where you're missing Keegan Murray. And we haven't mentioned it. I'm sure Alan did maybe on his show. The Kings put out a Keegan Murray update this afternoon, said he's out tonight against the Nuggets with lumbar / lower back inflammation, and he'll be considered day-to-day going forward. And so, and you know how it is with a back also.
I do.
Let me ask you this then, as we spitball in this, there's a chance the Kings wrap up the number 9 seed tonight. Given Keegan's back situation, some of the injuries, Domas, do you shut guys down the last two? Remember, we talked a little bit about that yesterday.
So you can kind of kill two birds. You can rest guys, just don't play them as much. And at the same time, in a roundabout way, you're improving your chances of keeping that pick.
You're still bringing up that damn pick, Whitey. I'm past that pick, big fella.
It's part of what you're asking me.
I ain't thinking about that pick. I'm trying to win basketball games here.
Are you? If you're sitting all your guys, which was the premise of your question?
But I'm saying because I'm resting them for the play-in.
Yes.
And you're saying, well, another side benefit could
I'm saying that's a good idea because while you're doing that, you're also potentially making it more likely that you would keep that pick.
Okay, all right.
I'm not saying kick games. I'm not saying punt games, but I'm just saying that's something else to consider.
Okay, all right, that's true.
But we don't want the pick because we want to get in the playoffs.
We want to get in the playoffs, exactly. I'm ready to take on OKC. We got DA coming up at 4:30.
We do.
because I want to bring something up real quick, and it just hit me, and it goes back to, like you were saying, resting guys and things like that. Did you see what the Celtics are doing with Jaylen Brown?
I did not.
He played last night. Last week, he was asked, if you come back from your injury,
it's a knee, right? Or,
yeah. How much does the 65-game threshold, play into that? He's like, nothing. No, not at all. Guess how many minutes Jaylen Brown played last night, Whitey?
I would guess 20.
22 minutes. I'm just like, come on, man. And because he would have to play every single game remaining to qualify for the awards. And so I'm watching the game and watching highlights, and he's just over there standing up, cheering, looking like ML Carr, waving towels. And I'm like, bro, you could have been out there 22 minutes. But he's playing just enough to get that credit for a game played. That's weak.
That's the monster the league created.
Yeah.
Isn't it? With this rule, which I
get
think is
it. But if you can play, right? If you can play 22, can't you play 32?
How is he moving now? Because I think it was one of his first games back against the Kings here, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And he just wasn't moving great.
Yeah. Same way. He's pretty much the same. He's been struggling as of late. And so I get it. But it's like, if you are just doing that, just say it. Yeah, that's a factor. I want to make all NBA. Damn Skippy.
I'm with you on that. There's nothing wrong with
nothing wrong with it. We all know the rules and we understand it. Like, don't try to hide from it and say, no, that's not. And then you play 22 minutes. If he played 28, 30, I wouldn't have even thought. But 22 is kind of a random number.
By the way, getting back to that, something that you mentioned yesterday, you're the first that I know of who brought this up.
Okay.
Was talking about, Domas, he's got 67 games now. So you include the 2 games there we didn't play much. He's in 65 games qualifying for the awards. And you said he's not going to get one of the awards. And I saw this today, Wissinger at the King's Herald. He said that he heard Zach Lowe and Howard Beck talking about it. The 2 discussed season awards. I was disappointed to hear that even Lowe and Beck viewed Domas as little more than an afterthought in the third-team All-NBA discussion.
That's what I'm talking
Wissinger says, as you says, like, if you're a Kings fan, don't expect much here because Domas is probably going to get snubbed again when it comes to the awards.
Well, and what's messed up about it, you could make the argument, not saying I would, but the argument could be made. Cleveland could have 2 big guys on there, Mobley and Jared Allen. It's because their teams have been so dominant. And so, yeah, I just feel like the Kings just aren't on the radar right now. And I think Domas is having the second best season out of any center in the league.
He's 9th in the league in VORP.
Right. Oh, the VORP. You bring that out about once a week or so. Everyone's
9th is good in the whole league.
That's exactly. But for some reason, it doesn't translate to the awards.
Yeah.
I don't understand. What's crazy is, and I have to look up the numbers, he's probably having a better season than he did a year ago.
But you know how it is. A lot of the voters look at him as, he's got good numbers, but he's not a guy that can carry a team. He's not a guy you can build a team around. He's good on a team if there's other good players around him. Therefore, they don't vote him, although it was 3rd team All-League, last year?
Third team.
Yeah.
Which I was shocked. I was surprised. But with Houston being the 2nd team in the West, Şengün's going to get it. They got to have at least one guy on All-NBA. And Jokic is going to be on there.
But it's not positional, right?
Not positional. But there's so many other.
You're saying it kind of is, even though they say officially it's not?
Let me ask you this, Whitey. And we got a couple more minutes before we get to DA. I'm looking at the teams around the Sacramento Kings, and just in the Western Conference, Whitey. Just in the Western Conference, because you say, and you correctly said this, it's positionless. I can go right now, team by team. Minnesota, Ant-Man.
Yeah. We were just talking about for one of the 3. Yeah.
And I'm just going guys right around. Memphis, Triple J. He's getting it. He's probably going to get it.
Yeah.
I'm talking a better case than Domas nationally. Not saying how we feel. I'm just saying nationally.
Yeah.
Golden State, Steph for sure.
Yeah.
Denver. We know Jokic is getting it.
Right.
Clippers. They might get 2.
They might.
Some could argue Zubats might get some love. I'm not saying it's factual and it should be that way, but I'm just saying
he shouldn't be able to skip Domas in the line. But I get your point.
But he might. Lakers, Luka doesn't qualify. Does LeBron qualify? I think he does, right?
I have to double check.
I got to double check.
I think so.
Houston. OKC going to get 2 guys maybe.
Yeah.
And so I was having an argument with my son about this because he was like talking about another player. Dad, look at his stats. And I'm like, it's not about his stats. It's about did the team win and how many other guys are eligible because of that 65 win threshold.
LeBron's at 68.
Yeah, so he's going to get one.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough for Domas.
Mhm.
It's going to be tough.
Yeah. So don't get your hopes up. Like you said yesterday. You were right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But do get your hopes up for Damon Amendolara. He's not crazy about the whole A's relocation saga, of which we are certainly involved now in Sacramento. So he joins us next year. Drive Guys from the Goal One Center on Sacktown Sports.
Tonight, Kings and Nuggets. Game night with Scott Marsh and the high flyer Henry Turner starts at 5:30. Tip-off at 7.
The Kings play here on Sacktown Sports.
Sacktown Sports, 1140.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
How can you free your team from time-consuming office tasks? Amazon Business. Smart business buying tools enable buyers to find and purchase items fast so they can focus on strategy and growth. Free up your team and focus on your future. Learn more at AmazonBusiness.com.
Ooh, ma. What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud Phone System. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very
calm. I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Nia.
Hi, Nia. It's Jennifer. Did you know that Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Yeah, I work here.
Okay. I was just double checking. Get it?
Because Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Oh, you get me, Nia.
You could say that I double get you.
I guess we've taken it too far.
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/credit card.
Hey, everybody, it's your boy Kyle Draper. You know I'm a big guy, right, everybody? So sometimes, even my SUV or sedan, I want a little more space. Maybe I want to take the fellas to the football game or to the basketball game. Maybe I want to go golfing. Well, Mercedes-Benz of Stockton has the perfect solution. They have a Vans Fleet Center, and they understand your business needs. They understand your personal needs as well. They have a great inventory and a huge selection, and plus, they have the perfect van to power your fleet, including the new fully electric e-Sprinter alongside those reliable diesel options. So if you're looking for a new van just for personal reasons or even for your business fleet, head on over to Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. And get this, you can take advantage of their exclusive limited time 0% APR financing offer for up to 60 months on select models. So head down to Mercedes-Benz of Stockton or online at mbfstockton.com and tell them Drape sent you.
The sewer system. It's probably the last thing on your mind, and that's okay. Because at the Sacramento Area Sewer District, it's our first priority. As the region's largest sewer utility, we own and maintain thousands of miles of sewer pipe. And our job is to get to your sewer problem before it interrupts your life. So whether you've got a slow drain or a backup, call us first, day or night. The Sacramento Area Sewer District. It's a dirty job, but we're happy to do it.
Are you ready to unlock your business's potential? Hey, I'm Alan Stiles, and you can do that with Roxas Technology Solutions. Their mission is to empower growth through cutting-edge, reliable, and scalable technology. They tailor solutions to enhance efficiency and foster innovation, ensuring your business thrives in the digital age. Located in Sacramento, their dedicated team is ready to partner with you for your long-term success. Transform your business now. Go to roxtech.com. That's WROXTECH.com. Roxtech. Tomorrow's technology at your fingertips today.
As seen on Crazy Rich Asians, Silicon Valley, and more, it's Jimmy O Yang, Big and Tall Tour.
She was like, babe, what's your love language? I'm like, what? A love language could be words of affirmation. I was raised by Asian parents. Their love language is verbal abuse.
Saturday, April 12th, the venue at Thunder Valley. For tickets, visit ThunderValleyResort.com. Don't miss them, Sacramento. Jimmy O Yang, Big and Tall Tour.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers.
T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it.
Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with Turbo Power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/choice55 to learn more. With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 new lines with autopay for well-qualified customers plus taxes, fees, and $35 per line connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Charger sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
Spring is here, and that means gigantic savings for all your oil change needs at Jiffy Lube today. Get a $25 gift card with the purchase of any Pennzoil Platinum full synthetic oil change through May 31st at your local Jiffy Lube service center in the greater Sacramento areas. And don't forget about the additional $30 off online coupon at jiffylube.com. Terms apply. Valid email address required. See pennzoil.com/rewards for details. Jiffy Lube, huge spring savings for you today.
Y'all fakers.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
Another big Sacramento sports day. We're coming to you from the Gold One Center, where, of course, the Kings host the Nuggets tonight. Earlier today, the Las Vegas A's of West Sacramento were defeated by San Diego 2-1, only 2 hits for the Athletics. Drapes 10,553, the official crowd count, which I believe is the second largest for them this season. The only larger crowd was that opening day crowd.
That's massive. It must be working here in Sacramento. Baseball must be working here in Sac and West Sac.
It remains a work in progress. With more on that, nice enough to join us. And he's been a critic of this whole debacle of the A's relocation. Sirius XM host on Mad Dog Radio, Damon Amendolara. How are you, Damon?
Guys, I'm doing good. How you boys doing?
Doing great. Baseball's here, baby. We good out here.
Drapes is coming after you already.
No, because DA, we got cut to the chase here, man. You know, I follow you on social media. I see your posts. You do a fantastic job. Me and DA go back 15, 20 years from our days in Boston.
Sure.
What is it about this organization, the A's, and their move here to Sacramento and to Las Vegas? It almost seems personal, DA. You've gone on a crusade here over the last year. What is it about this situation that has you so upset?
So for clarification, I have nothing against the city of Sacramento, certainly nothing against Sacramento sports fans. You guys have supported the Kings through thick and thin. Back in the bad old days, I mean, I'm an NBA head going back to the 80s. Well before it got good there, it was really bad. And all Arco was always awesome, and the Cowbells were always awesome. So I know it's a great sports town. My personal intensity of my argument and my passion comes from what I feel is an absolutely haphazard, disjointed, disorganized relocation plan allowed by Major League Baseball, allowed by Rob Manfred to arguably the worst owner in North American sports. Now, I've joined you guys before, and I've made the case that John Fisher specifically has not done one lousy thing to support a fan base at any point over the course of his ownership. And my point in my latest screed on video, which is on YouTube, and I'm sure you saw it on Twitter, is that this whole relocation of Sacramento is unfair to all parties, okay? Because in Sacramento, you guys aren't even allowed to use the city Sacramento in the name. There's no merchandising that says Sacramento officially. The A's can't even be bothered to admit that they're in Sacramento, which I would imagine you would know better than me, has got to turn some people off of the fan base. Like, hey, this is just a way station until they get to where they really want to be. Number two, there's always been a mandate if you're going to move a team out of a city to make sure you got a relocation fee. They never asked a relocation fee out of John Fisher, which is mind-boggling. And then the third part of this is we had Rob Manfred on the channel. Christopher Mad Dog Russo had him on opening day. And Manfred made this whole bold case of when he has two expansion teams, and maybe Sacramento's going to be one of them, that he is going to mandate a ballpark be built before that team starts baseball. And I just don't understand why that has not been followed through in Las Vegas. If you want to move to Las Vegas, you better demand the relocation fee at least. And I would say, secondly, wait till their ballpark is done before you uproot that team that's been there for 60 years. So I don't understand any of this in the process of why they're moving it like this.
Yeah, it's bizarre on a number of fronts. Damon Amendolara with us. This is obviously very awkward, Damon. I know you've talked about a number of the issues here that just are not major league caliber. I don't think, and you made this point, I don't think it reflects poorly on Sacramento. To me, the way I see it, it's just the opposite. Because to me, as you said, the A's said, we're not going to be Sacramento. We don't want to be Sacramento's team. And to me, some of the lower tennis numbers, to me, they reflect the Sacramento fans going, great, your wish is granted. You're not going to be our team. I feel like in some ways, by baseball dangling that carrot and saying, oh, this is Sacramento's chance to prove they deserve a major league team, I almost feel like we're being taken advantage of. And I'm kind of proud that for the most part, I was just out there 2 nights in a row. It's a good time, but I feel like fans are like, yeah, this is your mess to clean up. It's not Sacramento's mess to clean up. You're on your own.
It's a great way to frame it. And there's plenty of A's fans that have been turned off to the A's that live in Sacramento because of what happened. I get messages and comments all the time that are like, I've been an A's fan for whatever, 20, 30, 40 years. I live in Sacramento. I'm not going to these games because I cannot stomach the way that it's gone down. And it's completely unfair to the city of Sacramento to be like, oh, now prove that you love baseball. Well, by what virtue here? What are we suggesting, that they have to buy all in on a team that has 1 foot out the door and is advertising Las Vegas in the outfield? They have to buy in fully to a franchise that you can't even be bothered to build a real media facility. You're asking them to do something you're not doing. And that's, again, this is what is so unfair about everything. There's an Oakland Coliseum that is hosting sporting events currently. It's not the best place in the world. It's not a palace. Everybody knows that. But it is hosting soccer events there. It can easily be the baseball stadium until that city in Las Vegas has a ballpark. But instead, you've kind of hijacked Sacramento, you've hijacked the A's, and you haven't even gone all the way in Sacramento with Rob Manfred going, we will not be playing multiple rounds of the playoffs should they get there. So you're already admitting that this is an amateur outfit that you're kind of putting out there. Thus, not fair to Sacramento. So you're telling A's fans, buy season tickets. Come all season. But if they make the ALDS, you're not going to see them. Well, how can you sell baseball that way in Sacramento?
Yeah. Man, DA's fired up. And I completely understand DA and agree 100%. Here's the question I have, though, because you talked about the relocation fee and all this. How complicit are the other owners in Major League Baseball? Why are they allowing? It seems like this goes against their own benefit. Why is it this way?
It's 100% on the owners, because if the 29 other owners said, we are not letting John Fisher step out that door without a relocation fee, Rob Manfred would be forced to do it. So, of course, he's doing the bidding of the other owners. But Rob Manfred can also say, hey, this is crazy. We have to make sure we hold his feet to the fire in some way. I spoke to you guys last year. My only theory on that front is the other 29 owners just don't want to be told what to do if they, got caught in the same situation. So they're not about to tell another guy what to do. But really, even that doesn't make any sense because the owners will extract the money that they need to extract when another owner does something. This is part of the contract of being an owner. So my only other theory, and I posed this in the video, and I don't know if it's but once upon a time when Lou Wolf bought this team, the A's, it was because Bud Selig steered the team to Lou Wolf because Lou Wolf was his frat buddy back in college. And that's a fact that ultimately when Lou Wolf bid on this, he was allowed to be the only bidder on the A's. And John Fisher was attached to that bid because of his inherent wealth with his family, the Gap family money. Is it possible that Rob Manfred, who is a right-hand man of Bud Selig, is still carrying out this kind of like unspoken favor where Lou Wolf got the team, frat buddy with Bud Selig, no harm, no foul, see no evil, hear no evil, and this is still what's going on? Make it make sense. Unless they're just going, hey, no matter what, full steam ahead. We got to get to Las Vegas. That's where the gambling money is. We just have to go there no matter what. But if that's the case, what they're admitting is John Fisher doesn't have the money, that we cannot even expect him to give the relocation fee because he doesn't have the money. Well, how does that give any confidence to Las Vegas then that he's going to be able to figure out the stadium? At some point in time, the owners or Rod Manfred has to say, this is crazy. I don't know why they're allowing all of these exceptions to the rule for this franchise.
Yeah, it is mind-boggling, and your theory makes more sense than anything else I've heard. I remember talking to Lou Wolf in 2012, and they were talking at that time about a move to San Jose, and I remember, we were asking him, well, what's your plan B? And he said, we don't have a plan B. And I guess now they're still figuring out plan B. Damon Amendolara with us from SiriusXM. Do you think that the A's will be here for 3 years? And it may not be fair to ask you that. I think there are a lot of things we just don't know about the whole situation yet. We talked to Evan Drellich a couple of days ago. He said someone from MLB shared with him that, on opening night, they weren't so sure. What do you think of the likelihood that this as it is, and of course, they'll continue to learn from it and hopefully improve? How likely are we to see this for the full, what's supposed to be a 3-year commitment to the A's in Sacramento?
I think they'll be in Sacramento for 3 years because I think Manfred and the owners have painted themselves into a corner here by insisting this was the best solution. It's hard for me to imagine that suddenly they're going to admit failure because they seem to be just, kind of railroading this thing into Las Vegas. That being said, if they do leave Sacramento, I doubt it's back to Oakland because they basically burned every bridge in the city of Oakland, and going back there for a year or two only to take them back to Las Vegas also seems kind of like lunacy. Could it be that they take them out and put them in a place like Salt Lake? Could they take them out and put them in Las Vegas at the 51 Stadium? I mean, it's freaking hot, but you guys know it's freaking hot in Sacramento in the summer as well. I'm perplexed at this. And to me, it's like if the Oakland A's were relocating because of something like the Rays, where a natural calamity happened and the stadium was no longer fit, and you just kind of had to figure out a way to make it work for a couple of years. All right. But it is almost like they are, what's the old adage, like shoot first, aim later, or whatever. I mean, that's kind of what it is. It's like we're just getting to Las Vegas however we can get there, and everything in between is going to be a complete mess. And it's like, whose mess is it to clean up? Who knows? It's not our problem. It's just kind of like figure it out day to day because we have no grand plan here.
Damon Amendolara. DA, how much is the local officials here in Sacramento to blame? Because I asked this question because if it wasn't Sacramento, Portland got their hand out, Utah it would have been somewhere else. How much blame do you put on the local officials here in Sac?
Not much. I mean, as we all know, a local politician, a mayor, a city council, is looking for sports because it's the one feel good that we still have in American society that bonds everybody together from both sides of the political spectrum. Sports is almost always a political win. Now, in California, it has been extraordinarily hard, as you guys know, to build any publicly financed stadium. And so all of these teams have to find private financing. And that's been kind of like, the biggest hoop to jump through for every team to get a new stadium. But every official wants on their record, hey, we got this team. We kept this team. They want to be at the ribbon cutting ceremonies. They want to be at the events for the photo ops where the shovels go in the ground, because anybody that loses teams, always suffers the PR hit. So I don't blame Sacramento at all for going like, hey, we have a chance. And also it makes complete sense to say maybe we can sell ourselves to be a city that houses a full-time team, because we have seen that happen. Oklahoma City took in the Hornets when Katrina happened, and ultimately that helped them get the Thunder. So it makes complete sense. The complicit nature of this is on the owners and Rob Manfred. It doesn't make any sense that they have not held John Fisher to the same expectations they would hold anybody else, and every other league holds their owners to.
Yeah, Damon, the troubling thing about the Oklahoma City example is, as you know, they were the New Orleans, Oklahoma City. What were they? Not the Thunder. The Hornets. Thank you. So, but they put OKC. They embraced OKC as part of their official name for that brief period. And of course, the A's not doing that here. I wanted to ask you how this is playing nationally. Last year, of course, the summer of Sell, you had fans around the country. They were wearing Sell shirts, which was nice. But at this point, I know we hear announcers that come in with the teams. They say, oh, they're still the Oakland A's to me, which is nice. But how is this playing around the country? Or are people even paying attention to what baseball is doing with the A's here in Sacramento?
The saddest part about the A's relocation is that it is met with such a shrug nationally from really important, influential media members that have voices. And that's for a couple of reasons. Number one, baseball just does not resonate the same way football and basketball does. And I would even say that it's football, and then a far second is going to be basketball. My guess is that you guys experienced this when the Kings, it was the dalliances, whether the Kings might leave Sacramento. It was a story, but there should have been and could have been much louder voices on louder platforms that really took up the cause and really shrugged their shoulders. So I'm annoyed beyond annoyed that it's so clear how ridiculous this is. And if it was happening to the Tennessee Titans or was happening to the Jacksonville Jaguars like this, the national media would be up in arms because it's so ham-fisted. It's so ridiculous. And because it's baseball, a lot of them just don't care to pay attention. The second part is John Fisher has, in my estimation, purposefully torpedoed interest in Oakland so that it wore everybody down. Years upon years of empty seats at the Coliseum, years upon years of a decrepit stadium, years upon years of apathy that was seen through the lens of a national media that didn't really understand what was going on. It looked like, well, you got to move them. And then with the shadow of the Raiders and the Warriors, most of the national media that is not going to pay attention enough goes, well, yeah, I mean, Oakland loses all the teams. When if you were really tied into it, you understand all three relocations are completely different. And you can absolutely point the finger at the A's for the Raiders relocation. But it just doesn't resonate enough. Now, that tool shed that they're using for the media availability, that honestly is one of those things that the national media does pay attention to because it's so absurd and it's like viral and it's social media, so it'll pop, it'll cut through. But you're barely going to hear a peep about this throughout the season, and that really to me is very dispiriting because you guys, I'm sure, have a background of taking the journalism part of this seriously, at least to a certain degree. Of course, we're supposed to be entertainers, but there is supposed to be a truth that aligns with what we're talking about and that we are looking for the things that we should be talking about. And I just feel like the media nationally just can't be bothered. And it's so obvious that this should be called out as the scam of all scams.
Yeah, that shed, by the way, when it was raining last week, our buddy Frankie, he got his backpack got wet, so the floor was wet. That won't be a problem now, but it is going to get a little toasty.
Yeah, we're going to get hot.
It's be 110.
Right?
Are you guys broadcasting from that tent? What's going on? Where is that in terms of the development? I heard we got AC in there now.
No, man. I hopefully they got AC in there. It's right now we're in the basketball arena, the best arena in the NBA right now.
Right.
DA. So let me ask you this though. Final question from me here. I hear all that, DA. I understand the jokes people are making. I understand the back and forth on social media. But when it's all said and done, where does this end up? Like, is John Fisher going to get his way when it's all said and done?
Probably.
Because that's the thing. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Probably. I think for the main reason is baseball's race, by the way, being last essentially to Las Vegas, is just on, and it's almost seemingly unstoppable. And the stadium plans for Vegas are also patently absurd because they still don't have full financing. They still do not have they don't have a shovel in the ground. They've already moved the team, and there is no financing on the stadium. When has that ever been allowed? Now, if you had to buy time because there were cost overruns or delays, that's one thing. They have said we're moving there without the financing in place for the stadium. So it's how many times can that be allowed? But because they've already done that, it's almost as though John Fisher cannot fail because baseball has made the decision we are going into that market. I think if it got ugly enough, let's say they can't get the financing on the stadium and ultimately baseball desperately wants to be in Las Vegas and they go, you know what? Fisher ain't the guy to get this financing. He's not the guy to pull the strings. He's not the you have to have an owner that does play the game at least somewhat well, and I think he plays the game horribly. Maybe the powers that be would say, okay, we got to get into Vegas. He's not the guy. It's stuck in the mud there. Let's force him to sell, much like a Dan Snyder situation or a Sterling. He can get his $1 billion, and then we'll shift this to a guy that we know is going to be able to get the deal done. That's to me the only way that this doesn't end with Fisher in Las Vegas, but never put it past him because he's been remarkably terrible at this entire process for 10 to 15 years. So everything is still on the table.
All right, Damon Amendolara, thank you very much. We appreciate your time and appreciate your insight. And let us know when you make it out here. We'd love to go to the game with you.
I appreciate that. Yeah, enjoy the Kings game. I love watching this team. And we actually just had Mike Bibby on the show, and he's now at Sac State, as you guys know. And I love talking to him as well. He's all juiced up. He's all fired up. So, you guys got some stuff cooking over there. I got a close friend that lives out in Sacramento, so hopefully I'll be able to drop on by sometime soon, and I'll say hello to you guys.
All right. We
all
appreciate
right,
it. Take care,
man.
We'll see you soon.
All right, guys. You too, man.
Damon,
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, now.
Yep. Thank you, Damon Amendolara, who has been before we even knew Sacramento was going to be involved in this at all.
Yeah.
He's been covering
been
on saga
and
the inconsistencies in MLB and John Fisher's explanations.
And
all this
he's
stuff.
hammering John Fisher. Like, he is not letting up. And, that's why I asked the question, how complicit are we locally, not me and you, but just, the powers that be around here for allowing John Fisher to come here and to use the stadium, use the staff, use it's like we open the front door. Yeah, come on in. The fridge is right here. Go eat.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of we'll scratch your back, you scratch ours.
Yeah,
right?
that's
Sacramento does have a chance here to maybe raise their national baseball profile a little bit. And as I've said, I know I'm being redundant here, but I'm just kind of proud that fans are not just like, oh, we've got to go out there. It's like, yeah, we'll go out there and maybe when the ticket prices come down a little bit and we'll have a good time.
Well, the true test is going to be when the White Sox come in a couple of weeks. Because, you Padres, that's a following.
The Nets are coming in.
Yeah. What's going to happen when a crap team comes in on a Wednesday or a Tuesday or something? Like, will that 9,000 be 4,000, 3,000, That's what I want to see.
Yeah, but what if it is? What does that say?
It really doesn't. Yeah,
we're more discerning baseball fans maybe than baseball's giving us credit for being. When we come right back, Kings offense clicking, but they'll have to get it done at the other end tonight, won't they? How many times do we say that? That's next with the Drive Guys from the Go and Win on Sacktown Sports.
The Sacktown Sports 1140 newsletter right to your email. Get your latest on the Sacramento Kings, Athletics, and Republic FC with the Sacktown Sports 1140 newsletter. Visit sacktownsports.com to join.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Consolidated Communications.
I'm meteorologist Heather Waldman in the KCRA3 Weather Center. A mild start Thursday with valley temperatures already in the low to mid 50s. Pretty warm in the afternoon, too. Highs in the mid 80s with a few high clouds. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA app.
Want internet with more speed and less frustration? Fidium Fiber Internet is better because it's built to deliver more bandwidth and speeds up to 2 gigs. Switch today and you can kiss buffering and weak Wi-Fi goodbye. Visit fidiumfiber.com.
Save $12,000 off MSRP on new 2025 Silverado 1500 LT at the Maida Chevy Silverado Supercenter after all rebates.
And Maida Chevy still has one of the largest selections in the Sacramento area.
With $12,000 off new Silverado exclusively at the Maida Chevy Silverado Supercenter. Now that's big, huge. See them all at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
5% savings must trade in 2011 or newer. Not available with special financing, lease, and some other offers.
Made a great deal at Maida.
You know what? There are a lot of HVAC companies out there. Our old heater collapsed with a heavy sigh after Christmas. We needed a new one. How do you make a choice like that? A friend recommended we check out Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating at leesair.com. And I'm glad that we listened. Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating, they were ready to come out the day that we called. They treated us with respect, from the person who answered the phone to the guys who installed our new HVAC unit. So why choose Lee's? That's what this comes down to. They offer 100% satisfaction guarantee. They get 4.8 stars on Google, so a lot of friends recommend them. And I gave them a 5-star review on Google myself. They've won awards with their service. They've spent more than 40 years serving the Valley's HVAC, heating, and plumbing needs. You can trust Lee's with installation and repair of your AC, furnace, and water heater, plus residential and commercial plumbing repair, commercial HVAC services, too. You can find out more at leesair.com. Check out their mission statement, which is all about serving customers like you and serving the community. Check on their $99 HVAC tune-up service. Let Lee's take care of you the way they took care of me, treating us like family while setting us up with an HVAC system that has improved our quality of life. And as I say, it has improved the air that we are breathing. Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating, license number 635355.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Hereeth my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover is accepted at the places I love to shop. Get it with the times.
With the times? You're playing the lute.
Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
Keeping your engines healthy means protecting them in season and out. Experts trust Stable to do that. And third-party testing confirms it. Stable is the industry leader in preventing fuel-related issues, no matter if you use it in your car, boat, or outdoor power equipment. In season or out, at every fill-up or when you store, start with Stable.
Sacramento's premier country music festival, Country in the Park, is coming back May 16th and 17th at Cal Expo with Bailey Zimmerman, Billy Currington, Cole Wetzel, Nate Smith, and more. You'll enjoy food trucks, rock walls, and a mechanical bull, line dancing, and more. Single-day GA tickets start at $52 at CITPFest.com. Country in the Park, May 16th and 17th with Rocks Tech, Michelob Ultra, and Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. More info at CITPFest.com.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram and Woodland. Ram Truck Month, it's back. Chad, tell me about the deals happening at Hoblet.
Only Hoblet can get you a deal this good on the best selection of new Ram trucks. Right now, save up to $15,000 off MSRP on the new 2025 Ram 1500 Tradesman Sports. And with 500 new Ram trucks available, your perfect Ram is waiting for you at the Hoblet Ram Truck Center.
And aren't you the #1 Ram truck dealer in California?
Yeah, we consistently rank #1 in California thanks to our unique selection of Ram trucks. Plus, people love our new certified pre-owned super center with over 200 vehicles available and over 50 under $20,000.
There's only one thing to do. Search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HoblettDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
15,000 total net savings after 10,000 factory rebates and 5,000 dealer discounts. Rebates include 8,000 West and National Consumer Cash, 1,500 Conquest dealer cash. Must own or lease Ford, Chevy, or GMC brand vehicle. 500 on the job upfit. Must show proof of $500 eligible upfit. 5,000 net savings. Sample VIN 616-182. See dealer for details.
Every day when we're on the road, people around us endanger themselves and others by looking at their phones while driving. There's the sneaker peeker who darts their eyes between the road and their texts, or the nightlighter who illuminates their car after dark. If that's you, reconsider before you find yourself becoming the fender benderer, the got a ticket-er, or worst of all, the driver who killed someone. Put the phone away or pay. Paid for by NHTSA.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Comcast Business, powering possibilities. Well, there's nothing more exciting for a team than to see the potential of a number one pick come to fruition. Now, we know it's early, it's just after 11 games, but Tyler Soderstrom from Turlock High was number 3 in the American League in batting at .381 and tied for first in homers with 6, and Jacob Wilson, number 4 in batting at .366. Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business with reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solution, and Wi-Fi backup. Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. For details on special offers, including free professional installation and up to a $500 Visa prepaid card on qualifying internet bundles, log on to business.comcast.com. Comcast Business, powering possibility.
It's the final days of the spring sales event. Drive home your new Honda before the deals and the new Hondas disappear. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? During the spring sales event, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our number one priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
When might you be buzzed? When you suddenly love everything.
You guys, I love this song. I love these nachos. I love our kickball league. Oh, I love this guy. What's your name? You know what I'd love? A ride when it's time to head out.
If you see a buzzed warning sign, call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
I love your car. Is this real leather?
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you out, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey, Assistant Smokey Bear, call me Papa Bear, because I'm grilling up dinner. You get it?
Yes, good job.
So, what should I do with all these coals?
Don't just toss them out. Put them in a metal container because those embers can start a wildfire.
I understand. The stakes are high.
Ha, 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 ha.
Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
What sets Ashton & Price apart from other injury law firms? I'll tell you. From beginning to end, all important legal decisions are made directly between our clients and their experienced local attorney. A gate agent flying the plane, the receptionist performing surgery, not a chance. There's simply no substitute for the unique power of the direct attorney-client relationship offered by Ashton & Price. And there's never a fee until we win, and between you and me, we win a lot.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Sacramento Kings basketball.
The Sacramento Kings have moved and pulled off the improbable. The run to the playoffs.
Here's a steal by Kia. Career high 6. Breakaway. Hammer time. On Sacktown Sports 1140.
How do you do? How do you do? How do you do?
Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
And we got some good injury news for you, we think. Obviously, today a rough day for Kings fans with the news that Malik Monk is going to be reevaluated in 2 weeks because of a calf strain. You know, Drapes was the one who warned us yesterday when we heard that Terrence Davis had signed. That might mean that Malik's going to be out a while, and apparently it does. But who do we have out here working out today, Drapes? I know now
he's our guy.
Yeah.
Jake LaRavia getting some shots up.
Yeah.
You know, got that little left thumb wrapped. See that wrap on his left hand right there. But
didn't appear to affect his shooting. And
he looked good, right?
He's doing a good job guarding this
4-year-old, right?
Yeah.
Jake, he's a 3-and-D guy.
That's right.
So
that's right.
Yeah. Oh, your boy Mark Jones is here tonight. He must be on the ESPN call. It's a national game too tonight, Whitey.
Yeah.
So you got ESPN, you got Denver media, and us here.
Yeah. You and I forget who you're doing the game.
Jerry Reynolds,
That's
right?
awesome.
Oh man,
That's the
you
best.
gotta watch this. Watch our call tonight, man. Jerry Reynolds. He's still probably prepping, knowing him, right? He's been up since 1 a.m. He said, getting ready for this game.
Yeah. He also said, if you believe that, he has some land in French Lick, some farmland. He wants to tell you. Yeah. His whole life is prepping.
I wonder what outfit he gonna wear. Is it same suit from his last broadcast, or that he got some new threads? What do you, Jerry? I know you're driving in right now, listening, man. So hurry up and get here so we can do this.
Yeah. So who's gonna carry who tonight? I'm
gonna lean on him.
Uh-huh.
It's gonna be story hour with Jerry. Yes. I mean, this is a walking encyclopedia of basketball.
It is.
I'm gonna be sitting next to, and so we're gonna have some fun with it.
Yeah. And Katie's husband's on Survivor, right? So
yeah, and they're having a watch party tonight.
Which
yeah,
that's awesome too. But looking forward to the return of Jerry Reynolds. Last time he did a game, he was doing it remotely during the pandemic.
Yeah, exactly. And so no, it's one thing. I think it was you that said, or maybe him. He'll shoot it straight no matter what. You know what I mean? He'll call it like he sees it. And so I'm looking forward to it, man. And, I talked to my producer, Ro Das. Shout out to him. And, we're like, we're going to have fun with this tonight. It doesn't have to be all X's and O's, breaking down every single play. I'm going to tap into Jerry's knowledge and expertise and experience.
Yeah, you want to have fun. He's the guy.
He's the guy, right?
By the way, you just mentioned the pandemic. Tim Reynolds had this note on X. The only teams in the NBA that have not changed coaches since the pandemic: San Antonio, Miami, and Golden State. The only teams.
Damn, pandemic ain't that far ago.
No, it's not.
Long ago. So you're talking of the 30 teams, 27 have made changes?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And some of them 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
You look at us, you look at Phoenix, they've changed a few times as well. And so that's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We're going to be taking you up to, of course, game night, but Doug Christie will be along in
any minute,
10 minutes or so.
Yeah.
Any minute he could be popping in. We'll join his comments. Want to let you know that Friday, if you get a chance, you're in the area, join us at Tom's Watch Bar all day. Sacktown Sports is going to be broadcasting from 10 on, right?
Yeah, is it at 10 o'clock? Is that when we're starting with Brendan?
No, 12 o'clock.
Okay.
12 o'clock.
12 o'clock.
Yeah, 12. That's what they did last time too.
Yeah.
They Allen took off the last 15 minutes at 11:45, hustled down, and then started it up again at 12. And Kyle Ledbetter held it down.
Okay, because I think Allen is still
on the
some
East Coast
far-flung location.
Like yeah.
So he'll probably take it up to noon, and then Brendan will be live, and then we'll be live, and it's gonna be a lot of fun.
And then High Flyer and Scott Marsh live as well.
I heard Jay's gonna be there.
Jay coming out too. No, Jay wants some more of them wings or whatever he had last time. That's why.
That's true, right,
Coming out
Jay?
and get some of that grub out there.
Yeah, it is. And I don't have to sit around and let it go cold either.
I know, right? You can actually eat. So
we can
last
rotate.
time,
That's what we can do is you talk, I talk, he
We
talks.
should.
Okay, Whitey, you go ahead and eat. We'll take this segment. Then Drapes, you take that segment. That's how we'll do it.
Oh, he ordered a chicken sandwich and it was sitting there for 2 hours.
Yeah.
I'm like, Jay, eat. But he was on the air. He had to fill in for somebody.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
That's why I don't typically eat when I'm on the air.
Man, you missing out, man.
Yeah.
This is some good food. You gotta indulge.
I will.
You gotta indulge.
I will.
buddy. All
I
right.
will. Kings need to indulge tonight in some offense with Denver being a very poor defensive team. But they are a good offensive team, but they're a very poor defensive team.
Yeah, they are. And even worse lately. I mean, just the effort. You can see it. And watch Jokic tonight. And who knows? Maybe with Michael Malone gone, you'll see a renewed effort from this Denver team. But they look like a team over the last 4 games that have checked out, especially defensively. So some things should be there for the Sacramento Kings.
Human nature being what it is, it's fair to wonder how much intensity the Nuggets will bring to the party tonight. Have they already checked out on the whole season, as you say? In which case, the Kings might have their way with them, or are they going to approach tonight with renewed vigor? Given that the coach is gone, we got to salvage this season.
Right. And everybody always says, you get that little bump if you will.
New coach bump.
Coach bump. And we got that, but not immediately. And so it'll be interesting to see. I mean, think about it, too. When you look at the standings, this is a massive – this game is actually bigger for Denver than it is us tonight because they could easily wind up in the play-in. Like, they're not guaranteed top 6. And the way they're reeling right now, like they're trending towards the play-in and not the actual playoff. So this will show us a lot about this Denver Nuggets team tonight.
Yeah, but the Kings, the big question for them for more than a couple of years now has been, can they get stops? And that'll be a challenge tonight because Denver is 4th in offensive rating, 4th in three-point field goal percentage. They're 30th in attempts.
Yeah,
they don't
right.
shoot a lot,
Yep.
but they make a lot of them. And, you know, we've seen this before. We have teams coming in here like Orlando. Oh, they don't take many threes. And it just bombs away, right, against the Kings.
Right.
Now, Denver doesn't take a lot, but they make a lot of the ones they take. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see them. That's why I say I'm really worried about Christian Brown.
Well, I mean, I look at him as probably the only marksman. You know, like no Jamal Murray, Whitey. That's a huge loss.
Yes.
And I think he factors into some of those numbers that you were just talking about, which happened last game when they were here talking about Denver. I talked earlier about how Aaron Gordon had his way, but also their bench played extremely well. The Peyton Watsons, the Zeke Najis of the world, they actually came in and had an impact. So you got to limit those. Jokic is going to get his because he touches the ball every single time. Like everything runs through him. He's going to get his, but you got to corral some of those other guys, I think.
You know what I just realized? It's neither here nor there, but talking about the Nuggets and Michael Malone getting fired. He got fired. They've got a losing streak going. They've been playing without Jamal Murray.
Yeah.
When he got fired here, DeMarcus Cousins had been sick for a long time.
Yeah.
And they lost a few games. And, all right, you're gone. So
it's almost not fair, right?
It doesn't seem fair. I'm sure there's a lot more going on behind the scenes in Denver. But as you say, he's going to get a job pretty quickly. He's a great coach.
Right. Great coach, 10 years champion that he is. And you look at some of the development, Christian Brown, he helped develop out there. And so, no, I think he'll get another job. I haven't mentioned Michael Porter Jr. We got to talk about, he could be a guy that can get him up also in terms of 3-point percentage. So we got to lock him in as well tonight.
You know, that's the guy that the Kings appeared to be zeroing in on when they took Bagley and Luka was in the mix, and they really were focusing on.
So they would have taken him that high?
It looked like it, but he had the bad back. And, you know, that's why he dropped as far as he did. It ended up being a pretty good pick for the Nuggets.
Yeah, I was going to say, would he have been a good pick for us? You think he would have been, you know, obviously better than Bagley. We know that, but
his spine would have fallen out or something. At the Kings. You know, that's just the way it goes. I'll tell you one thing about tonight that I'm not missing.
What?
And I like Michael Malone, but I am not missing all the drama. Oh, Michael Malone's back. Taking shots at the King and ownership. I understand all that. I'm just not going to miss it at all tonight.
I agree with you 100%. I'm tired of that kind of antic and all that. But I'll also say this, Whitey. Denver's beaten us all 3 times so far this season. But part of that has, to me, is Michael Malone showing his guys how much he wants to beat Sacramento. Like, now that you don't have all that, is this just another game for them? Whereas Coach made it personal the first 3 games.
Yeah.
So is this just another game for Denver out here tonight?
Yeah. Well, that's depends on how much they want to salvage this season, because this is a huge game for them. You look at the standings, coaching change sends a message. I'm still not sure what message it sends, but it's if you're a player, you gotta realize that it's time to either step up or step off.
Exactly. Now's the time. And somebody, Chris with a K, says, if the Mavs lose today, do the Kings automatically get 9th? No. Magic numbers 2. Any combination of Mavs losses and Kings wins, we get it. So if we win and they lose, we get the 9th.
Right.
Yeah.
If they lose, if Dallas loses, all the Kings have to do is win one of the remaining games or have Dallas lose again. So they should be in. It's just not quite. T isn't crossed yet. The I.
And if they win tonight, Whitey, and Dallas loses, I will view this as them not backing into the plan. Like, remember a couple weeks ago, I said, I don't want us to back in. Like, this is us playing great basketball to get in at the right time. And so it would be big if we get it tonight. against these guys out here.
Yeah, and I'd also like to think that it'd be good to do that because you get a little momentum going into the play-in, but
right.
I'm not sure that really matters. Once the game starts, especially in the postseason, momentum is a fickle mistress.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
A fickle mistress. Okay. Yeah, it is too. And especially at play-in, it's only one game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's anything can happen.
Right.
And think about it like this too. We're going to play Wednesday. So you'll have Monday to get ready, and we play early Sunday. So you have Sunday night, Monday. You can really lock into an opponent. And so I just hope our guys come with the right mental approach. Like, we got to be dug in, and you can't come out early, lose a first quarter, get down by 15 or 20. Like we did against Washington in terms of not having that focus right from the jump. We can't have that anymore here these last few games.
Speaking of Doug in, once Doug is in position, we'll be joining him for his pregame presser. I'd anticipate he's going to talk a lot about the Malik situation. He's going to talk a lot about Terrence Davis. And, I mean, he'll be asked about the plan here without Malik, but I don't know that he'll really go into much detail about that, will he?
No, I don't think he will.
The answer is Devin Carter, though.
Yeah. Right. The answer is that. Is that Jerry Reynolds I see down there? I can't see. Talking with Mark and Jim.
I believe it is.
Is it? Oh, shoot. He's here all nice and early.
Go get him on.
Up with everybody. I know. I should. Oh, man. I can't. My eyes are pretty bad. I can't see who's down there with him. But he's ready, man. He's being me to the spot.
Yeah. I think, that's it.
That is him, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
He's ready.
Reynolds
Back in it.
and Kyle Draper. Jerry told us earlier he wouldn't have done it unless Drapes was part of the pack.
Well, he understands I'm gonna make him look good. You know what I mean? I'm gonna tee him up and let him throw it down.
Why you always lying? Mark Jones. Yeah. Looks like he's getting along pretty well with Mark Jones.
I know, right? Well, he worked with him, called 2 games with him out there. And so I see Deuce and Mo over there also chopping it up, getting in on the conversation. It's feeling left out hanging up here with you.
I know. Yeah. Just a few more moments to go. We'll get to Doug Christie. We'll get you to game night. But Devin Carter is going to be one of the key players for the Kings here down the stretch without Malik.
Yeah, he is. And I love what I'm seeing from Devin Carter. Forget the 7 points in a row. I just like the compete level, the energy that I see. That, to me, that's where he can help this team. Do I want him to score? Yes. But I also need him to harass the opposing play. Like tonight, pick up full court like he did the other night in Cleveland and in Detroit. Like, he can be that kind of disruptor, a la Keon Ellis, a la Jose Alvarado for the Pelicans. He can be that kind of disruptor defensively.
I don't want to alarm anybody, but I've noticed him a couple times now, and he's working out, going through the full workout, but he's shaking that shoulder, Drapes, and he's got that, whatever it is, that athletic tape or that magnetic strip on there. He's been shaking that, shaking some of the stiffness out there. But as a rookie, especially a rookie whose season started late, other teams have been taking advantage of him, but I think he's starting to give it back a little bit.
No, I think so. 100%. He's giving it back. And I'll say this about the shoulder. After every game, he got a huge pack of ice on it. And I'm talking when we get on the plane, he got some ice on it. And so it's clearly not 100%, but we need the guy right now.
Yeah.
He's a big part of what we're doing out here.
So he had the shoulder surgery on the left, and then the right's the one he banged, right? Or
he had the off-season shoulder surgery on the left. The right he hurt before, though, too, a few years ago. Like, he's hurt them both in his college career, but most recently it was the left. Yeah, and then now it's the right that's bothering him right now.
Yeah, Kings against the Denver Nuggets tonight. What I always say when they play Denver is, as far as Jokic goes, he's incredible. Jerry Reynolds today compared him to, said he's right up there with the all-time greats. You just can't let him beat you with his passing. You can't just turn your back and be so worried about helping on Jokic that you turn his teammates into layup machines.
Right. That's the thing. Because Jokic will pick you apart.
Yeah.
He you know where Jokic is? He's like water running down. He'll find the stream. He'll find the opening, if you will. If you give him one, he'll find it. So I'm interested in seeing the defensive game plan against him tonight, especially without Jamal Murray.
What do you got for us, Coach? How you defending him? It's up to you.
I'm defending him single coverage.
Yeah.
I'm not helping.
I'll kill you.
You're going to have to give 80 tonight,
Right.
Jokic. Like, because we have multiple bodies now we can throw at him to Whitey with JV as well.
The other thing is you got to work him at the other end.
Work him at the other end. Because he's not – and this might be a game where Domas has to take 5 or 6 threes because he's not coming out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Jokic is not coming out there to try to defend the three-point line. So, Domas, you can't hesitate. Knock that thing down tonight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Real quickly here, as we await Doug Christie's arrival at the podium, I wanted to get back to Luka. And before we wrap things up here, final thoughts on Luka. The NBA rescinding his technical last night. Brian Windhorst today had said, look, it was Luka's fault, even though he was talking to a fan. The thing is, he does swear at officials, and that's why he got teed up.
Yeah.
So do we need to just define a code of conduct amongst fans here, what fans can and can't say, and then actually enforce that? Is that a big part of this back and forth between the players and the fans?
I wish there was a way to enforce it, Whitey, as Doug Christie sits down. RJ, let me know when we're ready. We got Doug Christie sitting down here. He's about to talk here to the media. We're going to take you to his press conference live right now.
Davis, no, Keegan, where are you at with TD and what he can bring to this team? You were here on the staff while he was part of this team before.
I think TD brings a high-level shooter, brings some energy, obviously, athleticism. He does know the system pretty much. We do some different things than when he was here, but nothing that, as a basketball player, he won't understand and know how to pick up. So, shoot the ball. You're open. He's a spacer. He can knock down shots. We saw him get on the heater and knock down shots at a high clip.
Hey, Doug. Can you just speak to kind of Malik's season? He's averaging career highs, in points, rebounds, assists, and just what he means to the team, how unfortunate it is for him and the team that this happened now.
Super unfortunate because we depend on him a lot in many ways. He is the leader of the team. Definitely on the emotional side, a lot of, the energy, the things that go on in the locker room, practice, like he's the head of the snake in many ways. So he'll still obviously be around, but 2 weeks is 2 weeks. And, we need him. We need Malik's energy. We need his shooting, his athleticism. I mean, the one thing that when I think about Malik is like you have the ability to play with anybody because you can do so many different things, and to whom much is given, much is expected. So he has the ability to play in pick and roll, hit the pocket. He can spray it to the corner. He can knock down the three. He can knock down the deep three. He can play above the rim. He finishes with both hands. Like he's got a mid-range game. He knocks down free throws at a high clip. It's just, his ability to process that when he's out there, but he is desperately and deeply going to be missed.
As they've gotten more time sharing the floor together, how have you seen Zach and Domas develop a chemistry, and where do you notice that?
Both of those guys are such high-level players. I think even on some of the DHOs, when I'm looking, like I've seen Domas bounce it behind him. I've seen him advance it to him and then run into a pick and roll. I've seen him pitch it to him the other night as he's coming off. Like those are things that you have to talk through a little bit. You have to learn how a player likes passes because, like we've had players here that depended on Domas to come off and bounce the ball and then set a screen to get them open. And Zach is the type of player that, that's good, but he can also just get his own. So to watch them start to figure it out, and then, Zach hit the pocket, and then from there it's, all bets are off because Domas downhill has the ability to finish. He has the ability to spray the basketball. So it's good to see them continue to grow together, no doubt.
Hey, Doug, two from me real quick. Just back to Malik for a second. Obviously he felt some sort of way about not being able to contribute in the postseason last year. And obviously you have aspirations of getting him back for the postseason run. Where do you feel he's at from a mental standpoint, from even the vibes that he brings to the locker room, which are obviously so important for you guys?
That's a tough one because I don't know, to be honest with you. After it happened, we flew home, and I haven't seen Malik. I texted him and we spoke, and he was in good spirits. But to actually see him and vibe with him, I have not yet. So from playing this game, it can be tough sometimes because you play a whole season to get to a point where you're ready to ascend and do your thing, and then something happens, and that can be. But normally he's in good spirits. Like he has a spirit about him that far exceeds all of that. And if you know anything about a lot of our players who come into this league from various backgrounds and different things, a lot of times people tell you can't, and you do. And that's special in and of itself. So ain't nobody gonna hold Malik Monk down.
Yeah. And then knowing, of course, what Rick Adelman means to you, I wonder what kind of a wow moment that's going to be to look across and see David over there kind of get his first taste of Nuggets basketball as the interim coach, and for you having such a familiarity with him, seeing him as a kid.
Super excited for him. Super proud of him, just to watch his process as he's went through and become a champion and a well-trusted coach on a great coaching staff that has done some wonderful things. For him to get the shot in Sacramento, it's kind of, that's crazy, but this is the basketball gods. So you roll with it. So after the game, I'm sure have some words for him. He's a good kid, has paid his dues, and this is an incredible opportunity for him. So I know he has to be excited as well.
Well, I'm glad we got that in there.
Yeah, perfect timing, right?
Yes. Drapes, have fun tonight.
Yeah. Thank you. I gotta go holler at my boy Jerry Reynolds down there. Yep.
I may have to drive home after the first quarter or something just so I can watch it.
I know, right? You record every game, though, right? You record me when I'm on the call, right?
Yeah. So have fun tonight. Thank you for being with us. Stick around. Game night is next with Scott Marsh and the High Flyer on Sacktown Sports.
No rag, no set. I got the gang with me, though. Can't rock with me now if you didn't back then. Zell on the mic, on the beat of Sap 10. Backyard boogie, and I'm slapping Mac 10. They tried to kick me out, and I went right back in.